40 years ago, the old gods decided to create a podcaster capable of withstanding 20 hours of podcasting in the space of 5 days. I am Ed Zitron, and this is Better Offline's CES coverage. Better Offline. We are large and in charge in the Palazzo Hotel in Las Vegas, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, with an open bar, tacos, and the strongest bench of tech commentator talent in the known universe. As ever, we're bringing you coverage of the world's biggest tech conference. It's day 2, episode 2, and our first contestants have just arrived. Joining me for the first block is the amazing Victoria Song of the Verge.
Hello.
And we've got the wonderful stand-up comedian and host of the Factually Podcast Adam Conover.
Hello.
And of course, the legendary broadcaster, my dad's going to be so happy, Rory Cellan-Jones, who writes the Always On newsletter and is on the Movers and Shakers podcast. Thank you for joining us, Rory.
Hello, so pleased to please your dad.
Oh, he's gonna be elated. So, Victoria, you describe your beat as the cursed technology beat, and I think this is a great place to begin.
Not for my mental health, but sure.
Yes, but for the yucks, perhaps. Mm-hmm. What have you seen? Just start anywhere.
Oh, okay. So, with my editors, we're talking trend pieces right now, and they're like, "V, what's your trend this year?" And I was like, "Bodily fluids. We are talking piss, semen, blood, urine." Bodily fluids, because my actual beat is wearable and health technology.
Right.
So I'm surprisingly light on wearables today.
How many have you got today?
I only got 2. The other day I was rocking 4.
Like a parallax style thing. Lovely.
Yeah, actually, no. I have AI. You sent me these.
Yes.
The AI
don't
generated
name them.
insoles. The AI generated insoles. My feetsies still hurt, so there we go. But yeah, so longevity, quote unquote, longevity tech is in right now. Wellness is bullshit, as we know, but a lot of my beat deals with wellness, and therefore the snake oil perpetuated by wellness influencers around the world. And I get to have the lovely job of going, what bullshit are they going to make me wear this year? So I've worn an LED face mask that makes Jason Voorhees look funny.
Okay.
But it's not the Jason Voorhees type LED mask. It's you'll see it tomorrow on theverge.com.
I look forward to
there's
it.
that. I closed the loop on the taint zapper. And
I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
What is that?
Okay, so we have to go back 6 years because this is a story that is 6 years in the reporting and the making. So CES 2020, right before the world closes down because of COVID, I'm at CES suffering. I have a cold or whatever. I'm at CES Unveiled, which is the inaugural night's showcase of vendors and whatnot. Right. I'm walking along. I'm going, what am I going to cover? What am I going to cover? And I see a table. It's one of those booths that's very empty and sad.
Right.
And on the table, there is a mannequin. And it's just this mid-torso section of a male mannequin with Ken doll smooth giblets. Mm. And it's on its back, so its taint is exposed to a roving crowd of tech journalists. And on the gooch of this mannequin is a Band-Aid.
Right.
And on this sparse table, I really have to paint the picture here. There's a laptop. And on the laptop, there is a slideshow presentation. And I want you to think of a black and white picture of a couple in bed, and they're disgruntled. The woman is on the bed, and she's sitting here with her arms folded and just like, a look of disgust on her face. And the man is at the edge of the bed with his head in his hands, and he's so sad. And the text on this slideshow is premature ejaculation is the #1 male dysfunction. So I take a picture. I was at Gizmodo at the time. So I take a picture of this and I send it to our Slack channel, and my editor goes, "Bitch, you must write this." And I go, okay, so I'll just describe it. I wrote it. A week later, the CEO, lovely man, Jeff, he reaches out to me and he goes, because I had some burning questions about this taint Band-Aid. And I was like, is it going to rip off the hair off these men's gooches? Like, what are we doing here? And it's like the proposed, it was a concept wearable. So the proposal was that to help men with premature ejaculation, it was going to zap you.
Okay.
To, delay orgasm.
Right.
And so I was like, I have so many questions. I asked many penis havers that I knew. I was like, would you try this? Would you do it? And they were all like, bitch, no. And so, a week later, he reaches out to me. I was like, I want to answer some of your questions. No, it's not going to rip the hair off. We've done a lot of research into the type of adhesive used. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll write that follow-up. The next year, I see them again, and they have the most, they have this GIF that shows how it works. And it's like if you were on the floor and you were panning up, it's like a view of the gooch. And just, it's the most cursed GIF I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
It's in our social video if you want to see it. But so that was there, and we were talking, and he's like, we've discovered something mysterious in our testing. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Sure. And so I met up with this guy this year, and it's now a product. They are FDA cleared.
Nice.
And the mysterious discovery that they discovered was that not only can it help men with premature ejaculation delay orgasm, the electrical signal contracts the prostate and makes ejaculation more forceful. So it
How did they measure that?
it was discovered in testing.
You can tell when you do it, Ed, how forceful it is.
Well, I've never had sex, so
yeah.
No.
Sometimes you're in a good mood and you hit the wall.
Yeah.
And people must have experienced this.
Yeah, I actually, that year after when I was doing the follow-up, I talked to a user who had used it. He wanted to be anonymous, and he was like, it's saving my marriage. It's great. It doesn't hurt. It feels great.
I'm being kind of cynical, but seems like it's actually possibly useful.
Oh, it's FDA cleared. It's FDA
Yeah, but
cleared.
there's
But
plenty of FDA.
there's like a lot of meaning between FDA approved, FDA cleared, FDA listed. It has to do with the type of medical class device it is and whatnot. But I did get to try it myself on my forearm, as I do not possess the actual body part necessary for real life testing. So I put it on my forearm. I got to try it out. It cost $300 for the starter kit. It has.
Does it require a subscription?
No, and there's no AI involved.
Good.
So
Anal intelligence.
You can customize the zap pattern. So you can there's a strength level of 1 to 100. I could feel the strength at 1, which I was told
right on your arm taint.
Yeah, on my arm taint, which I was told that makes me a unicorn because most people can't actually feel it at 1. Like he was saying that depending on your body, how hairy you are, how much body fat you have, you might need to like go up to 25 to feel something.
Nice. That's
yeah.
That's good. I'm trying not to like just laugh at the idea of bums, just like bum poo. But like, it seems like an actual like weirdly useful thing. Like,
well, a lot of men don't want to talk about premature ejaculation.
Men don't want to talk about sex at all. Like that's a universal thing with the fellas. Like this came up last year with Sheldon Lowe. Like men just like you start talking about sex and they go, no, I couldn't possibly.
Yeah, and their founder is a really good sport because Jimmy Kimmel did roast him on a monologue in 2022 about it. And he's like, that's fine. I just want people talking about it, and I want men who suffer from this to actually do something about it.
Good for you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff is like, he's a cool dude.
Jeff, you're a winner.
And the FDA clearance would mean it works. Like they've tested it? Or is it just not going to kill you?
It means that it's safe, basically. Okay. So they did have to test it on rabbits. So,
you mean they didn't have a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial?
One that doesn't shock your bum.
So like FDA clearance,
you think you've been shocked, but you haven't actually been.
So it's just naturally hard.
It feels more like a vibration, to be quite honest. It's not like a zzz type of feeling. Yeah. But what FDA clearance means is like there's different types of medical devices. There's class 1, which is like a tongue depressor. It's not really doing anything. Class 2 is like moderate risk. And I believe this would probably be in class 2 because they require 510 clearance. And basically they have to go through testing for safety, efficacy, privacy.
And this is all of it. It's past that.
Yes, it passed that. It took a long time because this is a 6-year period. I want to say like they had to go through 2 rounds of funding. Like FDA clearance cost millions of dollars.
It cost
millions of dollars.
Right now, the Taint Zapper is the most functional product we've discussed on the show. Like I'm deadly serious. Like we spent the last 2 hours just being like, yeah, this doesn't work. This doesn't exist. No, the Taint Zapper is real.
It's real, and so. part of the thing is that, they had done their initial round of gathering data, which took them a year and a half to gather all this data. And then the FDA was like, yeah, but we're going to need you to do animal testing. So you're going to have to put this taint zapper on bunnies. And
just to be clear, that's not their taints.
No, it's not the bunny taints. They're putting it on the bunnies because bunnies are furry.
Right.
And some taints are furry. So you need to make sure that when you put this adhesive on
your bum,
on skin, that when you take it off, you're not causing rashes, irritation, ripping things out. So, he told me that, they'd have to put the patch on the bunny every single day and monitor it for a few hours and yeah.
So, Rory, moving on from the taint for now.
I'm just agog. I've wandered off the street, an innocent old BBC man, and
it's actually not called a taint zapper. That's just what I've called it all these years.
What is it called?
It's called More, M-O-R.
That's a horrible
That
name.
is one of the worst names they could have come up with.
Well,
just called
that's
More?
what it's called. It's called More.
But it
That's
sounds like the one thing you don't get is more. You don't you don't get more
more velocity.
More velocity.
More lasting power.
More
so the company behind it is called Morari Inc., and Morari in Latin means delay. So chef's kiss.
Call it longer. Longer. Longer.
Longer. Yeah. With no E.
Yeah, because then it's like you're going longer and your dick is longer.
Yeah.
Men like longer.
That's the ad. That's
There
the
you
ad.
go.
There we go. Men like long. But Rory, what have you seen at the show? Anything unrelated to bums?
I'm just
I'm
aghast
sorry.
that I've not got any human detritus to bring before you. I mean, I've seen something incredibly wholesome.
Please tell me.
I went to the Lego press conference, and I used to come here year after year for the BBC, and it was a nightmare because of the time difference, and we had to make a story on a Sunday and a Monday to go out on the Tuesday, 8 hours behind, and be desperate. And I learned a good lesson there, which is never go to a CES press conference.
Yeah.
Because they're terrible.
Yes.
Because every single press conference features a CEO who thinks he's Steve Jobs unveiling the iPhone.
Yeah.
And he's not Steve Jobs, and he hasn't got an iPhone.
Right.
And I know this because my very first CES was my best ever because it had a historic event in that the BBC, having paid an awful lot for a lot of us to come over, led by me, I said to them, listen, we're going to take a day out and leave CES and go to a thing called Macworld because there's a rumour something big's going to happen. And so I was there when Steve Jobs did unveil the iPhone, which was better than any event that I've ever seen at 15 CESs.
When he goes, are you getting it? That's my favorite part.
Yeah,
He goes,
yeah.
Are you getting it? Were you getting it in that moment? Were you like, wait, it's one device?
Well, I was kind of shocked in a kind of very British way by the fact that there were people standing up and cheering.
Yeah.
We're journalists. We don't cheer, for
Thank
Christ's
you.
sake. There was not the requisite level of cynical old hackery. But even I got carried away. I knew something was big when my desk in London rang. People who were not remotely interested in technology and said, you've got to get your hands on that phone. And I said, you are deluded. Apple is like North Korea, but less open. They will never let me near a phone that's not coming out for 6 months. Are you dreaming? And then I remembered that we'd been promised an interview with Phil Schiller, the tubby little marketing guy who did not quite have Steve Jobs' charisma. And I had said, yeah, we'll do that, thinking, no, we won't. And I changed my mind, and we headed back to the Moscone Centre and said, we would like that interview with Mr. Schiller after all. He appears. I said, you don't happen to have the phone? And he said, oh, yeah. Handed it to me. I did my piece to camera and did an interview with Phil Schiller, which we didn't use.
Nice.
And I had my shot on the main news. And the following weekend, a tech columnist in the Venerable Observer newspaper described me as looking like a French medieval peasant holding a piece of the one true cross.
Jesus Christ. Well, I guess, yeah.
Which was accurate because
goddamn.
Christ, I'd actually got the hold of the damn thing.
Punished.
Which is a long way around saying CES has been sort of 20 years of disappointment for me mainly. But this year, I decided against my better instincts that I would go to one press conference.
Yeah.
And that was the Lego one.
Right.
And the contrast between that experience and sitting through, I didn't bother to go, but watch the live stream of the NVIDIA press conference was quite instructive.
We cursed ourselves with that on the first day. It was truly boring.
Yeah, but whereas the great thing about the Lego one was we got a little freebie, a little package of bricks on every seat.
Nice.
It was short. It was 45 minutes. It was the toy industry and the media industry because Disney and Lucasfilms were there. Mm-hmm. And Star Wars characters,
right.
Telling the tech industry, actually, we know a bit about storytelling. And which I'm afraid dear Mr. Jensen Huang obviously did not.
He doesn't, and it's weird. Other than his shiny jackets, he doesn't really have much going on. And the listeners already heard me say this, but it's like it was mostly him just repeating stuff from 3 to 6 months ago. It felt kind of washed. And I mean,
it was quite enjoyable when he's describing the most advanced. Exciting technology in the world, and his PowerPoint fails.
Oh, that was so. Someone's getting shot.
Well, I was saying a whole team is going to be replaced by AI within seconds.
I do respect when it's a live tech presentation now, though, because now they just fly us to the Steve Jobs Theater for Apple, and they're like, watch a filmed presentation in a theater, and you're like,
no sense of peril.
Yeah.
That, you know what, NVIDIA could use a little peril in that. There should have been some trapdoors or something. It was very bizarre. It was like 2 hours of a man clearly trying to feign excitement. And it's just like, yeah, Blackwell might come out at some point. Yeah, it's in full manufacture, and just the audience going, yeah.
I miss
the reaction was really sad.
Yeah, it was
like a failing politician at his party conference, setting up the queue lines. Applaud, and kind of.
Yeah. Thank God. Okay, it's good to know other people heard that. But let's change gears. Adam, what have you seen? You've just got here, so what wonders have you behold?
I'm sort of drawn to everything that's not AI related. First of all, I was just walking around
something.
Eureka Hall. Yeah.
Oh, you went to Eureka Hall, the tat section.
Well, what I found was, strangely, I saw like 5 or 6 products related to teeth. Have you guys noticed a teeth trend?
There's always teeth. Tech.
Everywhere I'm looking, there's
usually it's an AI toothbrush, for Christ's sake.
The first thing I saw was all the AI, blurred out, and my vision honed in on something called the Y brush. It's a toothbrush, but what if the end of the toothbrush was the same shape as all of your teeth? So you just put it over all of your teeth at once, and it brushes all your teeth simultaneously. And you know what? As the owner of an electric toothbrush, and it has a timer, and I do it for 2 minutes, and it's like 30 seconds per quadrant, and it's so boring, and I have to listen to like 2 minutes of a podcast. I was like, you know what? 10 seconds to brush all my teeth. Yes, someone buy me this shit at Brookstone for Christmas. Thank you. This is what CES is for. This is what it's supposed to be, is dumb garbage that says it's going to save you a minute and a half.
Right.
That's nice. I like that.
Did you see anything that was useless? I was just going to describe the rest of the CES, I guess. What else did you see? Did you see more teeth-related things?
Yeah, look, I even got
the teeth section.
I got a free night guard. So
he's got a bag. I have a bag.
I have a loose plastic bag
that is beautiful.
I've taken out of my hoodie pocket. I've produced it. So there was a smart night guard that I wear a night guard for tooth grinding, and it's a night guard that will, much like the taint zapper, it when you grind your teeth, it'll buzz in the middle of the night to stop you from grinding your teeth, which reminds me of when I was a kid and I used to wet the bed and my parents would put the piss alarm. Did any of you know the piss alarm?
No.
This is from the early 90s. This isn't even very high tech. It's a little, so, if you used to wet the bed, it was just common.
It's common.
It happens to a lot of people, Ed. I'm like older than you should be. I'm wetting the bed. And
it
so
starts again when you get to a certain age.
Well, you would be interested in this product. It's a pad with electrodes on it that you put into your underpants, and then when it detects moisture, it's connected to a little speaker that is attached to your shirt, and that goes like.
You dirty little bastard!
Nothing's changed.
So this is sorry, I'm lost. This is the piss alarm. This is piss.
No, I'm describing something that was inflicted on me as a child.
Right.
That frankly was almost like a form of abuse to stop me from doing something that just naturally stops.
Like something that kids do accidentally.
Yeah. Like a very common thing, but it's a shame alarm.
Right. No.
It's like a shock collar for dogs. Is that right?
Yeah. This is the same thing for grinding your teeth. And actually, it's not a bad idea because I
can actually see the use of that because I grind my teeth sometimes as well, and I find myself accidentally doing it.
Yeah, and I wear a night guard, and sometimes I'm like, am I grinding my teeth? Do I need to keep wearing the night guard, or I switch to sleeping on my side? Is this still happening? That I was like, all right, that's kind of nice. And then they gave me they molded a night guard to my teeth, and they gave me a free night guard in this sort of like loose bag you might use to bag produce at the supermarket.
This looks like what a criminal would hand drugs to someone in. Like it's just like
It's a nice quintessential CES.
Reminds me
goes over my teeth.
Onion headline I saw where it says Steph Curry finally finishes eating mouth guard. But for the 3 basketball listeners, no, that's good.
There's a jerk off machine. You saw that jerk off machine, right? In the Eureka Hall.
I got 2 for free.
It's called the Handy.
Yeah.
That's good.
And the Handy too. They've got both of them in the same.
Yeah.
What's the sequel like?
It looked like basically the same thing.
It just shakes harder, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I saw that thing 2 years ago, and I was like, okay, cool. That's funny looking. And then it's back here again, and I'm like, more the same. Cool.
It's like got all this copy where it's like, don't worry, everybody looks twice. Like, yep, it really is. It's really hamming it up,
The only way to do that is be super serious about it.
Yeah.
Just like, you're laughing. It's like, excuse me, is there something funny about this?
Yeah, see, that would be better.
That would be so much more interesting. It's like, yeah, we went there.
Yeah, it's very much the Cards Against Humanity of
God.
where they're like, just for nerds to be able to, I recognize this as comedy, and be able to laugh.
I mean, CES as a show is extremely prudish and does not fuck. Like,
that's the rule.
Yeah, well, it's a jerk-off machine. It's not a fucking machine, I'll tell you that.
There was a time where there was like back in 2019, 2020, there was like a controversy because they had given a vibrator, not a vibrator, it was like a micro-robotic cunnilingus dildo type device. It was the Laura DiCarlo, and they had given them a innovation award, and they're like, no, we're gonna take the innovation award away. And then everyone's like,
why did they take it away?
Because it was improper.
So they could give it to just something that didn't exist, like
they were just like no, this is not robotics, and everyone was like, yeah, it's robotics.
It's literally robotics.
You're just prudes.
Like they gave it and people complained, and then they took it away again. That's so.
Yeah.
That would make me
the
so
most
mad.
cowardly, fuckless shit I've heard in my life.
Yeah, but then the next year, they're like, no, we fuck. Get all the sex tech companies to come back and we'll have a sex tech pavilion. And they had a whole camper. They had like a build your own dildo experience, which I did. And, I was reporting on it. And now it's just like, where's the sex tech companies? It's one hand job device thing, and it's like, okay,
I would have expected Build-A-Dild to be a big hit,
It was that year, and then
they could do, have it be a kiosk in the mall. You go with for your friend's birthday.
No, smaller. You got any? We got a special one out back, mate. No, smaller than that. I like this though because David Roth sadly was only here yesterday because the sex conversation we had towards the end of last CES, just watching him retract. No, he's a lovely guy. I'm sure he's had sex. Like, I'm not going to comment further on that before I can get comment from him, which would be really funny to text him. Actually, last CES I got in trouble for texting my family group chat what my dad's horny level was. Sorry, Dad, you're going to now hear this. Anyway, your son's doing you proud. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice to hear there's useful stuff. But I guess
it usually is. It just takes 6 years of development
of bum research
of taint research. It's not just
like coming back here again and again.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it takes a long time to get some of the stuff actually made. It's not like a lot of the I say a lot of the tech I see here on my beat is vaporware because it's just like where is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes 6 years to get approval, and bunny testing to make sure it's safe enough for human use and that there's a scientific reason why you might want to actually use this shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it's funny, like the non-AI stuff is like for real people doing things like fucking.
Well, they are looking into AI for the taint zapper as well. So...
if you can, as a listener, if you're hearing this and you see something at CES with AI in it that works, please let me know, because so far I'm 0 for 100, I think it is.
I mean, I had a really interesting conversation with a woman, and it was like the sort of conversation where I was like, I wish I had a camera or I was recording it or something, because it was one of the first booths I went up to, and I'm like, I flew here today, I didn't get enough sleep, I'm like kind of zonked out, so I just walk up to this thing, and it's like AI fast food ordering thing, with the most obvious possible thing. But the guy demonstrates it, and he's like, "Could I have a coffee, please? Do you want to make it a combo?" "Yes, I want to make it a combo." "Could I have a croissant?" And it goes 5 croissants. And then, "Do you want to make it a combo?" He says, "Yes." And then it makes one of the croissants a combo. And then he says, "Could I remove the other 4 croissants?" And it goes, "Yes." He says, "See, it can remove stuff, And they're like, "What do you think?" And I was like, I mean, it seems worse than ordering.
Yeah.
Like if I were to confront this rather than a person, like I wouldn't like it.
I'd be actively annoyed.
Yeah, and they're like, well, sounds bad. I'm like, yeah, but
it sounds bad, but also it is.
Yeah,
it needs a bit of work.
But what I asked the woman was, I was like, and she was very nice to engage in this conversation. I was like, because she was saying, this people want a good customer experience, and a person doesn't always give you a good customer experience. For instance,
robot doesn't.
So we give you a bad one every time.
Yeah, she was like, I checked it at the hotel today, and the guy was rude. and the AI can never be rude. It'll always be in a good mood. And I said, okay, even if that's true, if you did the travel I did here today, right? Yeah. You got in a Waymo, then you get to the airport. There's no person to check in. It's just a kiosk. There's no TSA agent. There's no person to talk to you in security. When you go get your coffee, it's just a thing you talk to, and then it dispenses it. On the plane, there's no one to talk to. You get to the hotel, there's no person there.
Right.
And it just gives you a key. Is that a world that you would like to live in?
That's awful, just called Japan. They do that in Japan.
Okay, well,
they do that there. That exists.
Yeah, but it's cool there.
I don't know.
Yeah,
as a UK citizen coming through the American border, I'd quite like to,
global entry is pretty.
have a robot.
There's certainly some things, but like she goes, well, I like talking to people. But most people don't. I like it. So, I would maybe prefer to have a person. I'm like, I think most people do like other people.
To your point, I was at PepCom last night, and we saw this thing called AGI bot. And
I've heard about this.
So this giant bot, and then there's like a smaller version next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine this, that the smaller version is like doing Tai Chi and breakdancing like a psycho bot. It's like quite smoothly too. Very disconcerting. And the big bot is supposed to be shaking tech reporters' hands, because the purpose of this bot is to greet people at museums and that stuff. And it's like, you're supposed to walk up to it, and it has like doesn't have a face. It just has a screen. And it's like, my name is Luca, say hi to me or whatever. And you're supposed to say, hi, Luca. And it's supposed to put out its hand, and you're supposed to put your hand out and just shake the robot's hand. And so my colleague, Jen Tui, she's our smart home reviewer, and she's like, on a robot mission this particular CES. She puts out I'm like, Jen, you're doing the robots. Let me get a video of you shaking this robot's hand. This robot was like incapable of shaking her hand. And the one time it does, it pulls her hand down. And she's like, Jesus Christ. And then it just starts flirting with her. And we're like, oh.
Have you heard about the more
Yeah. Yeah, but like the funniest thing about this show is that this is the largest tech show in the US. It's the big thing of the year. No one can get fucking Bluetooth or Wi-Fi correct at this show. And so all the demos fucking fail all the time.
I just don't want to touch anyone. I don't want, when I go places, I don't want to touch. I like seeing people.
You don't want to touch a robot.
I don't want to touch anyone. I don't want to shake hands with someone when I go to the museum.
Just the robot.
Wait, to the point that I was asking the presenter I was talking to, like you.
I'm fine with talking to people. I quite like, and I think if I just walk through a series of machines, that would, like when I went to Korea, there was a lot of machines, but like still the occasional person. If it was just, to your description, Adam, just a series of screens that I interacted with, that would fucking suck. That would be. I'd feel alone in a way that I quite like being solitary, but that would just be like, I feel like I'm going through tubes.
Yeah. I think what it's going to be, the future that they're going to have, I described, when I go to the Alaska terminal at LAX, they've specifically done this where like there's no check-in counter. It's mostly kiosks and there's like 2 people roaming around. So it's the self-checkout of airlines. And whenever I fly Alaska, there's always some fucking problem with my ticket. I don't know what it is with their system. And so every time I'm like, where's the person? And that's what it's going to be everywhere. And this, as I'm talking to this woman, she goes, well, I want people to have the choice. Maybe they want to use the automated system. I'm like, I don't think we'll have a choice. And she goes, yeah, we won't have a choice because it's going to be so much cheaper to automate everything. They're going to do it.
Like the robo things. You call your bank and you just want to talk to someone. They're like, press 1 for the thing that you don't need to do.
And I am British.
Press 2 for the second thing you don't need to do. And you're just on the phone, you're pressing 0 and you're just like, give me a
I would
freaking
take
person.
that. And we're going to rotate to the next 30 in a second, but I just want to say, as a British person, every fucking single American voice-activated thing sucks for me. It's just like, okay, give me a reminder for 7 p.m. Calling your mother. Calling mum. Sending her your last link, which was the taint zapper. All right, we're going to rotate through. The next ad I fully endorse, and if you don't like it, email me at god@gov.biz. Welcome back. Zitron, we're back. It's the Consumer Electronics Show, Better Offline. And joining me in the room is Victoria Song of The Verge.
Hello.
Robert Evans of Behind the Bastards.
Yeah, I got to do this real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, I
felt like on air was the best way.
I've decided not to do that because I've drunk so many Diet Cokes already, and I've got like 3 more in me. And of course, Adam Conover, wonderful stand-up and the host of the Factually Podcast.
I stayed at your apartment once, and I was frankly concerned at how much Diet Coke was in that apartment. And no coffee maker. You're one of those no coffee. Are you a Diet Coke in the morning pervert?
I'm a Diet Coke whenever, pervert.
Oh, man.
It was 10:30 p.m. and I went to bed half an hour later, and I drank one of those motherfuckers with my sleeping meds. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're gonna.
So caffeine doesn't affect you.
It's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have ADHD and I take meds.
It's
for that
your
as
off
well.
prescription Adderall.
But I also have Concerta.
Wait,
they give me that, but the doctor gives me that because I actually, unsurprisingly, have ADHD. You haven't worked that out from the tens of thousands of words. So, Robert, you got the CEO of Intuit to say something?
The CMO.
My bad.
CMO of Intuit. Yeah, so I started my day. All I did really today was panels. I was in like 6 different fucking panels. And the first one was about, one sec, I should probably have had this.
That's okay.
Hold up.
Intuit's wonderful as well because they have this new ChatGPT integration they've added.
That's exactly what I was talking about. So I was in this this panel, which is like a leadership roundtable. On like technology and advertising. Although the actual panel did not seem to have much to do with that. And the CMO of Intuit was there and talked about the integration that they've been doing with ChatGPT, and talked about how like they're partnering with OpenAI so that you have, when you're doing your taxes, you have access to like a chat bot basically to help do, and you can have an agent. The idea is an agent will at some point be able to handle most of this task
but just
for
a
you.
chat bot though.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the problem. And like, so there's a couple of issues with this. When I first started, I had been reading about the Intuit integration, because they're putting like $100 million into OpenAI. Million, not B. I wasn't sure if I said that clearly. And when that first happened, I read an article by a security researcher who was pointing out that they are giving, Intuit is giving read and write access to an LLM of your tax data, of any of the tax data that's integrated into that, which is a problem from a security point of view. One of the things this guy points out is that there's a kind of attack that you can execute against AI models there's a kind of attack that you can execute against AI.
Was it?
It's prompt injection.
Prompt injection.
And that's when you go to a website which tells the LLM to do something, right?
Or a website, or one of the things that this guy proposed is if you want to put in a fraudulent invoice, you could have an invoice that has text that's not like visible to the naked eye, but that the LLM would read, and that text basically executes an exploit.
Right.
And there's not you can't defend against these, really. Like, there's not a functional way to stop this. The point he was making is that it's not a question of whether or not there will be a data breach of people's tax data because they're integrating it with this chatbot, but when. And the question that this researcher had, that I thought was a really good question, was who is then responsible? This is Chris Black, published this in a website called Araptus, but who is responsible if your data all gets leaked because of this integration? Is Intuit responsible? Is OpenAI responsible? Is whatever third party you're using that uses Intuit software responsible? So I asked the Thomas Renese, who's the CMO of Intuit, that when they had time for questions, and I said, I basically brought up what's in this article. I said, given the fact that this is an inevitability, that attacks like this will be carried out and data will be leaked, who is responsible? Who should take legal responsibility in that instance? And what safeguards are you building to try and deal with the fact that this is going to happen? And the first answer he gave is that we're talking about it with OpenAI, which I viewed as a non-answer. So I came up to him after the panel and kind of cornered him a little bit and asked, you have to have more. You're the CMO, right? You're the chief marketing officer of this entire company. Security is a pretty big marketing standpoint, right?
Yeah.
I would think you would know something about this. And he eventually got angry with me and said, I don't have any of that information. That's not my job, basically, to care about this sort of thing. I've got a recording of it. We'll play it at some point. But that's literally all that I got from him was we're talking about it with OpenAI, and I don't really know.
It's the same thing with the AI browsers, right? Because the AI browsers doing the same thing. They're so vulnerable to the prompt injection stuff.
I really like that also they're trying to pretend AI browsers are useful.
They're not. I tested 5 of them.
Was that you on the
Verge?
That
was me.
Yeah,
I had to test 5 fucking AI browsers. All I wanted was a pair of fucking New Balances, and it couldn't get me. I had to get my mother-in-law to get me the New Balances.
What are you doing? So what are you doing on the AI browser to try to get the New Balances?
So, they're agentic AI. You can ask it to find you the fucking New Balances or whatnot. And it's supposed to help you research this stuff. And all these tech CEOs are well, the future of computing is that you will not do anything on the computer. You'll talk to, it's kind of like Her, the movie Her, where you just talk to the computer and it goes beep, blah, 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 here you go. So all I wanted was a pair of fucking New Balances. I take my shoes very seriously.
Right.
And I'm okay, I want a pair of New Balances. These are the the parameters that I want. How am I going to get them? And my query kept getting longer and longer and longer and longer and longer because they can't Intuit thing. So I was my foot size is this. This is the stuff that I have to deal with. This is the color I want. This is the style that I want. These are the scenarios that I want to wear them in. These are the prices that I want to have. So it's a fucking 3-paragraph prompt that I have to give. And I'm asking all 5 of these different stupid AI browsers to just get me a pair of goddamn New Balances. And it's just I can't do it.
Also, I like browsing the internet. Not as much as I used to due to all the obstacles, but looking for a pair of shoes, looking for something in a store, that's kind of, you fuck around, you learn some stuff. It's kind of fun.
I did ruin, again, cursed tech beat. I did ruin my mental health just trying to buy a pair of
300-word essay.
Yeah.
I mean, the part of the enjoyment of purchasing something is to know that you got the thing that you wanted.
Yeah.
You put the work in. You found I've been trying to buy the perfect set of towels for a little while, and I was like, no, I don't want to get the onsen towels that like the fake Japanese towels. I want to find some real Japanese towels, and so I found out about like a variety of towel that's like only made in one town in Japan. I'm trying to find the right vendor, and I know when I get the towels, I'm going to be like, these. I went through something to get these,
right?
And that's how you want to feel about your New Balances.
Yeah.
These are so good. I got the ones I put a little bit of sweat equity in. Yeah. You want to just be like, I got some. The computer bought me some shoes.
Also, the computer doesn't listen. I said I already have the perfect running shoe, right? I found that.
So these were stylistic.
I want walking shoes. And what did it do? It gave me the fucking running shoes. Over and over and over again. I said I didn't want the running shoes. I wanted the walking shoes.
Right.
Didn't listen to me.
This is kind of like every one of these AI browsers I read about is kind of the same thing. It's like, imagine, if you will, you're sitting there, you want to buy something, and there's just no way to do that. It's just like an alien that's never used anything. It's just like, how do I do anything? Oh, I'll type in and it's like, after 3 minutes it might do something, right? Yeah. And it's like fucking.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing about sitting in all of these panels in particular, is that it's like entering this alternate world where all of the technology works much better than it does. And people talk about it as if, like, we deployed 1,500 agents, right? That are, they're doing great work. And it's like, okay, but I'm looking at, for example, the statistics that Copilot released last year, that were released about Copilot last year, that about 70% of work tasks that it's tasked with, it fails at, right? Because the agents are not functional yet.
So I'm trying to tell Atlas, ChatGPT's thing, to buy me these fucking New Balances, and it's just like, oh crap, there's a pop-up. Let me try and close this pop-up. Oh, that didn't close the pop-up. Let me click more precisely at the coordinates, and it's listing the coordinates on the site.
It's telling
Let me try and close the pop. It took
just belching gas fumes.
It took 5. I'm watching it. It took 5 attempts for the AI to close the pop-up. 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm just watching it, and I'm just like, Jesus fucking Christ, just close the fucking
It's
pop-up.
narrating as it's doing
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it narrates. It goes just like, let me think about the best way that I can close this pop-up. It didn't seem like I clicked hard enough. Let me look at the coordinates and click more precisely. Well, that didn't work either.
The compute on that is also bonkers. That
I boiled oceans to watch an AI struggle to close pop-ups for 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Giraffes from the back of a truck into a furnace to make this like a gas turbine in a poor community in Texas. It's just many people got cancer and you didn't get the shoes you wanted.
Yeah, and it's in between panels, a friend of mine back in Portland sent me a video that some guy, I think in Tennessee, recorded of like the sound of the data center that went up near his house. That's like this, for months has just been this like constant like droning beep noise thing. Like it just sounds awful. And so I'm going in between these people talking about like, and really focusing on how like AI is going to augment human capability, and these agents are only getting more capable, and like we're going to be using this to like really set human creativity on fire. And then I'm like watching a video where a guy's like, now it screams every day. The internet screams every day outside my house.
The computer is in pain.
And
they're hurting it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the statistics that show that like none of this stuff works as well as these people are saying it does, right? Like not to the extent that like I would want it doing a job that really matters. And I'm just so like in between that, the other thing that I read while I was going in between sessions was an article that came out today about a patent Sony filed last year to basically use an AI agent to play video games for you when you're trying to do something hard.
Finally.
If you can't beat a boss.
Did you see Razer stuff?
No.
Yeah, well, and that's the other crazy. I hahaven't seen the booth yet, though. But you want to talk about that?
I saw I was in that really sweaty Venetian suite where they were giving the preview of the Razer AI concept.
It smelled crazy in there.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so they had 2 crazy AI concepts. First, this Project Ava, and the only way you can describe it is a little anime waifu that you stick on
the
your...
wife tube.
The wife tube. It's a little desktop wife tube where the holographic anime waifu named Kira, and like there's a camera in the thing, and so she's watching you and she's going like, and it's based on Grok's Ani, if you know.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The pedo tube.
They did tell us like specifically that it was based on Grok, and I'm like, oh.
Cool.
Did you ask if it was based on an adult?
Well, I'll tell you what it's based on visually. If you ever watched the show Archer, there's like the creepy scientist who has the waifu holographic wife. It looks identical to that. I like it smaller, I think.
I was there with my colleague Antonio, Antonio, because he does listen to your podcast, Antonio Di Benedetto, and he's our laptop reviewer. And so they're like, Kira can help you when you're playing your game. And so he's playing like this first-person shooter, but it's just like it's like not an actual level, so you can't die in this section. And she's like, oh, this is the gun you're holding. It's not the correct gun. And it's like, oh, you died. And he didn't die. And then they like programmed shooting? They programmed like, oh, so did you see anything really cool at CES? Huh. And like this is how she talks because it's based on Ani.
Jesus Christ.
And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, that's cool. And but so you can have different like avatars. It doesn't have to be an AI waifu. You can also have Zane, the AI husbando, and he has like snake tattoos on there, and he just like goes like, yeah.
I don't even care. Hang on, I'm stuck. I need to ask the wife tube how to get past this section.
But like that's the whole point of games is that you're struggles,
is
right?
that you're playing
them?
You're playing
them.
Yeah.
You're using the problem solving and all of that, and it's just like, no, tell me how to beat this level. And all the time I talk to these companies and they're like, yeah, you're going to be able to
it doesn't
ask the
work.
AI how to do the thing.
It doesn't work.
Well, yeah, because they're training it off of like YouTube videos of people playing the game
Right.
too, which I just don't know if I believe it's going to work. Well, it is a patent, so maybe Sony doesn't either. Like,
are they showing the AI just like the video frames, like the literal
the YouTube videos? Maybe
from the patent. I haven't read the patent. I read an article about the patent application. But
because
that's what it sounds like.
You could program an old-fashioned AI, what we used to call AI in video games, just like an NPC. You could just when you're making a video game, you have the world state. You know how the game works. You could just like
have something in the game.
I think
exactly. That like is part of the game.
I think
it's an artificial world. Why do you need to?
This is an insult to game FAQs.
I think this is like a service outside of a specific game. Yeah.
They didn't ask if we should actually fucking make Cortana. These losers just played Halo way too much when they were in their formative years.
I think a big mistake that they're making, or just
which one?
Well, look, there's such a big difference between a tool that extends or enhances human capability, makes you more powerful, and you not doing it yourself and having someone else do it for you. I literally just for the first time hired an assistant because the perfect person who I knew would do such a great job for me is available for a couple months.
She's
I'm
awesome.
Like, great. You've corresponded with her.
She's wonderful.
She's amazing, right? But like, it's because I have worked with her before in a different capacity. I know she's amazing. I like trust her to do all these various things that I don't have to do myself anymore. But the moment that like I work with someone who fucks something up, I'm like, well, I can never work with this person.
You can't
again.
trust them.
I'm not going to assign things to them. And like, versus when I fuck something up with a tool that I'm using myself, I'm like, okay, I need to do a little bit better or whatever. Like the experience of those things is so fundamentally different. The use cases for them is different. The sort of person who wants to do them is different. And so like, I don't know, like for Intuit to be a company that goes from, here's tax software that helps you do your own taxes if you would really like to do that.
And also we're lobbying to make it illegal for...
You can't do that.
Yes.
Yes. But like to go from that to now we'll be an automatic accountant is like... They don't understand the gulf that they're trying to jump.
No.
Well, it's because they misunderstand. It's kind of the ongoing theme of CES. It's like people that don't experience the problems they're trying to fix. Because a personal assistant, to your point, is someone that you kind of hand stuff up. Like my written editor, Matt Hughes, the whole reason Matt works so well with me is he can anticipate. Like he kind of gets my thing and he knows, and I can trust him to get it without me having to, I don't know, give a 300-word prompt to explain every nuance because
so much hand holding.
And I don't want a hand holding assistant. That's the whole fucking point.
Yeah.
It's hand holding, and it's also like having an assistant to do the things you wouldn't have an assistant do. Like I don't know, play a video game for you.
Yeah.
But there's so much of it is focused on like the tasks that are deeply human. Like whenever I hear like this AI can help you brainstorm, it's like, well, no, it can't. Yeah. That's not how brainstorming works. Yeah. Someone else can't brainstorm for you. That's not.
You're just talking to yourself in the mirror, except the mirror is a chatbot.
Yeah, and you were hoping to plagiarize a good idea from the chatbot that itself is built from plagiarism, which I also feel like is a mistake. But
regurgitating thought into your own brain in the hopes a new idea comes out.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've talked about this before. My most positive experience with ChatGPT was I was trying to decide whether to get myself a little apartment in New York. And I talked to you about this, Ed, right? Yes. Whether it's a good financial decision. And I plug into ChatGPT. Hey, here's all the numbers. And like, is this a good would this be a big mistake? And it sort of goes, no, it wouldn't be a big mistake. You could do that if you wanted. You can do it. And then I'm like, okay, but what about the fact that I can't sublet it? Yeah. Oh, that means it's bad. Now you shouldn't do it.
Now you're fucked.
Oh, but what about the fact that it's kind of important to me? Well, if it's really important to you, you should do it. And I did actually find that clarifying. Like, it did help me think through it a little bit.
Yeah, but it ultimately just agreed with your last statement.
100%, because I was talking to myself in the mirror.
That's the most useful it is. It's like you need to talk out loud to yourself. But
I can do that to myself.
You can, but sometimes
and I can do that to you.
People,
because you answer all my texts for some reason.
Because you're my friend and I love you. Like, that's why I do it. Like, because I care about you and want you to be happy. And the chatbot doesn't care.
No, the chatbot doesn't care.
I actually wonder if my latent, like, actual autism gets mounting myself on the show. Like, that's why it doesn't work. Because every time I've tried anything like this, I'm just talking to my fucking self. Why are you agreeing with me on everything?
But I mean, like, that's because that's you. Like, to be real, that's you. I know I'm talking to myself on that too. It's just like,
it just doesn't work. Like, I literally have tried to do the things. I'm just like, no, just like there's a block. I'm just like, it's just repeating what I just fucking said.
Yeah, no, you have to know the artifice in order to like get to a point where you're like, if you understand that you're talking to yourself, you're just thinking aloud in a different format. It can be helpful if you understand that that's what you're doing. People don't understand that's what they're doing. Yeah. That's why they're getting the AI psychosis. And they're mistaking this for a friend. It's not a friend. It's literally a personality programming.
Yeah. I will say one thing that was interesting to me. I did a panel that was intelligence through motion. AI takes physical form, and it was about like robots with AI in them. It was actually the better one of the day. There was not much that was silly, and I think it was a really good example of like how you ought to be responsibly talking about and thinking about products like this. So one of the people who was there was Andrea Thomas, who's the co-founder and CEO of Diligent Robotics. Okay. And they've built a robot that is basically an assistant for doctors and nurses at the hospital, not doing medical stuff, but like the thing that she pointed out is because we started, and this was the first thing they liked, we started not with a product idea, but by talking to a bunch of doctors and nurses and figuring out like what are the different jobs you have. And one of the things they figured out is that nurses in particular spend a shitload of time every day running stuff back and forth through the hospital. And so like, well, if we have a robot that can move things and can potentially move refrigerated things or move things that you have to be very careful when carrying, then a skilled, trained human being isn't doing that bullshit work, and they can do more medical work, and there's not enough medical professionals.
And that's effectively a conveyor belt.
Right. Which is that's more maneuverable than a conveyor because it can go.
No, but the point is like it's useful because it's moving stuff between places.
Right.
That's great.
And I believe there was some talk about other, like they're looking at adding other capabilities, but the way that they were thinking about it first we're going to talk to the people who we want to be making products that will be used in hospitals. Let's talk to people who work in hospitals to see where it's useful. And then the other thing that they said during that, and this was something a couple other people pointed out, is that you have to, when you're talking about building products that human beings will be working alongside in an industrial capacity, you have to assume that there will be failures and build that in, because otherwise you're taking risks with people's lives, right? So you have to be figuring out, we want this thing to fail when it does, because it will, in a way that doesn't endanger human beings. How do we build that in from the ground up? This is like a fundamental assumption. It will fail. We need to make sure it fails in a way that does not lead to it crushing or killing people, because it's going to be around them. And so I really appreciate it. And it was such a gap to me from how everyone else I'm
You'll
used to
find that
other people talking about this stuff.
A lot more in the health tech and the
Right.
medical
Yeah.
space
Right.
because the stakes are so high.
Yep.
And like all the tech people are like, break shit, disrupt, blah, blah. But like medicine is like, no, don't break the people.
Please don't.
Something's
break
already
the
broken.
people. They're broken already.
Yeah.
But that's-
I
think one of the barriers to that, though, and this is not even me being cynical, is just you ask people what their problems are, and then you go, "Oh, you're an LLM, can't do that." Sorry. Like the answer is the problems that you have are not fixable with the technology we have. Like the actual, like housing and health, like health stuff. It's like there are very big limitations because of medical device clearance, but also just.
Well, technology is streamlining, right?
Yeah.
Like if you think about I just remember this from a macroeconomic class in college, but like all technology does is it moves the curve up. It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't like change the angle of the curve or whatnot. It just allows you to do more. So it's about streamlining things. It's not about fixing problems. It's about finding things that you could do more efficiently. Being more efficient doesn't fix the problem.
Right.
It's a different. It's two different streams that you're approaching, but they're conflating it by being like, if you're efficient, you fix the problem. It's like, no, the problem isn't always efficiency.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing I think about a lot is when I'm in any city, but especially New York or LA, where I spend a lot of time. It's like the physical infrastructure is so bad, but everybody has cell phones.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like no one's even like, oh, homeless people have cell phones. We know everybody has cell phones, like because the price of them is so cheap, and you can do a lot with them, but like there's potholes, the trains don't run,
right,
and like those are the problems in society, and the fact that we have such high technology in these particular areas but not in like the rest of our society is like a weird distortion. We all know this. We don't think about it often enough. But like what you're talking about is this the AI will like push that distortion even further in the best case scenario, and people like Simon Willison or whatever will have like some crazy agentic shit happening, like they'll be, in some fucking matrix, and everybody else will be like, how do I buy food?
Well, Simon Willison will be trying to draw a pelican on a bicycle. I think that's the one thing, that's literally the test he runs on every LLM. But even Willison is kind of realistic about it.
Yeah.
But to your point, Robert, with that panel, it's like, yeah, we're talking about this fantasy land. But even when we saw during the NVIDIA conference, it was talking about, and now agents are getting even more powerful and doing this.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. But also, gun to your head, explain what that means. Like, because I regularly am arguing with people about this online perpetually.
They're talking about the agents and the consumerism and the commerce aspect of agents just because that's the only way they have a chance of making their investment back.
Such a lack of specificity.
Yeah.
Like that is the thing that is most like in like the first 3 panels I did, all of which were one way or the other talking about like agents and their ability to like improve productivity and creativity. There was exactly one specific example of a thing that people used AI, like that a marketing or company used AI to do for marketing, right? Because these were all fairly marketing focused panels. Right. And it was specifically, it was the company that makes Allegra had like a new non-drowsy formula, and they engaged in what the I think it was a Deloitte. I forget who said this. It's in my notes. But what the person who was talking about it described as model hacking, to basically put out a bunch of content so that ChatGPT would repeatedly scrape articles or whatnot that talked about how Allegra was non-drowsy, so that if people asked questions about it, the LLM would return always would say Allegra is non-drowsy, would like put that before the word Allegra, and would like subtly talk shit about other allergy medicines causing drowsiness. And they were talking about and that's like a really great example of like this is like a strategy developed using AI that like it's not we couldn't have done marketing like this before.
We couldn't possibly have come up with a way to remind people.
First off, like your the most specific example of the use of this technology in advertising is disinformation. Yeah. Right? Basically, or at least negging. on that spectrum.
And that probably cost thousands of dollars
God
to
knows
develop.
how much.
Like probably thousands of articles or whatever, and just fed into the training. Jesus fucking Christ.
And at the same time, they're talking about how important trust is, and that like you have to keep. And there's
as they lie,
as they lie, and they're like, well, people only trust you. Will only trust your AI as much as they trust your company. So it's really about like having a good.
Isn't it the other way around as well?
That's what I took it as them saying is that like, look, people don't trust AI, but they still have some trust for specific brands. So if you really want to like, there's a limited period of time for that trust to stay alive.
It feels like AI psychosis
we
is
blow it
everywhere.
up.
Yeah.
No, it's like
honest to God makes this show more boring.
Yeah,
Like,
it really
It's all fucking AI shit.
Like the stuff I was popping for was there was a robot lawnmower that could go up a hill.
Yeah,
Did you see
that's
that?
cool.
All the robots are getting. Jen, again,
I was
if you
just
look
like-
up Jen's coverage, it's just about how last year the robots had arms, this year the robots have legs. And it's just,
next year,
it's
big
like-
old Willie.
There was also a I was talking about the jerk off robot last
Right,
time,
yeah.
Sure.
but first I
That's
saw
why you need it for the robots.
There was a robot called Beatbot, and it said
That wasn't the masturbation
nothing
robot, huh?
That wasn't. It was said nothing beats Beatbot, and I was like, this is a masturbation
Still
robot.
a great
Turns out it's a little robot that swims in your pool and cleans your pool, and I think maybe it's also the Bluetooth speaker. And I was like, it's like a pool Roomba.
Also,
I was like, that's cute.
You didn't
nice.
if there's any good call for a hybridized robot, a combination pool robot, orgasm robot, like make the sexy pool boy a robot.
Cabana bot.
Yeah, exactly.
Cabana
Cabana
bot.
bot.
And it's just doing that weird song from Rose. Like, you remember that one?
Yeah.
There's the offbeat song the guy was claiming he could only have sex to. No one remembers that. No, just oh god.
Cabana bot.
Cabana bot is
Cabana bot
great.
you can market it to rich men with like wives in their 20s, where you're like, look, your wife is going to cheat on you with the cabana boy. Just make sure it's a robot.
Cabana bot.
Come on, love, fuck the cabana bot. What?
You look depressed, honey. Do you need some time with the cabana bot?
I'll put on new music.
Genuinely, one of the best use cases for generative AI is sex stuff. Like it's
certainly one of the
Okay.
most uses
No.
for generative
I'm
AI.
sorry. As someone who was subjected to testing Annie, the Grok sex bot,
Jesus.
that was
Okay.
damaging.
You
to my
might have a
mental
workman's comp claim.
Yeah.
Listen, I keep asking for hazard pay at theverge.com and
The
for my
curse.
title to change to senior curse tech reviewer,
I mean,
and
it's
it's not
accurate.
happened yet. It's not happened yet. But I did have to test Annie, and boy, did she. Yeah.
And boy, was she
I
racist.
just noticed,
Yeah.
like the only people who are really making good use of like Sora style videos are niche fetish communities on the internet who have been able to move from writing fan fiction for each other because that's a cheap thing where they can have make media for each other.
Right.
Now they can make little videos.
No, they're
And
not making them.
and they're so happy. They're
Okay, but
so
AI doesn't know how to animate tongues, and I know this because again, my job is cursed, and I had to test these AI video generating things.
You've shown
and
me more
making
men kissing
people
than any
just
man should see.
making the AI
I feel like
make
they'll get
people
tongues,
kiss
though.
each other. No, they don't. They don't. They don't understand how tongues
Well,
work. It's just like
Jensen Huang said that
it's
the
bad.
new generation Vera Rubin is 4 times more powerful for training. So maybe that's like Jensen Huang's bringing the tongues in. But sadly, we're going to have to end this 30-second. The next thing coming up is an ad for tongue training models. And if you hear something else, that's an error. Whatever it is, just ignore it because we're meant to. It's the tongue training app. But before we get to the tongue training app, Robert has a very important message.
So I came across the booth during the brief time I spent on the floor today of a robotics company called Zeroth, which I think is a reference to the laws of robotics. And you had the normal laws, and there was the Zeroth law, yada yada yada. Anyway, we don't need to get into Asimov right now. But they had a whole booklet. I actually thought these were like notebooks at first, but every page of this is printed,
That's a big
explaining
book.
the vision for their company and the robots they make, the origin story. I'm just going to read a little bit from here, okay? The prevailing narrative in robotics has long been one of replacement and utility, robots as instruments of precision built for efficiency and stripped of warmth. Yet across the long memory of civilization, the impulse to create was never merely mechanical. From Yan Shi's graceful wooden automaton in ancient China to Talos, the bronze guardian of Crete, our earliest machines were not tools; they were mirrors, reflections of an ancient longing to understand ourselves. Zeroth emerges from that unbroken thread of imagination. And hearing that, and there's so much more flowery prose. I need you all to see the robot that they wrote this
Okay,
about.
let's take it.
Why is he wearing a little teal polo shirt?
I love that that's your first question. So listeners at home, what they've got is a robot that looks kind of like a cross between Elon Musk's shitty robot and a guy in a fencing helmet.
Yeah.
But because it can't stand on its own power, they have like a sex harness built that's like standing it up. That's like, so it doesn't fall on its ass.
Die.
And they put an awkward t-shirt on it, I think to hide the straps from the thing that keeps it standing.
Jesus fucking Christ. This is the Consumer Electronics Show, everyone. This is what they are lying to you. Any motherfucker that tells you that robotics or AI is coming, they're fucking lying. Anyway, if there's an AI ad after this, that's their fucking problem. Diane, I'm once again in scenic Las Vegas, and the locals are staring at me with daggers in their eyes as I insist on podcasting further. After rotating cubes in my head all day, I'm now rotating my guests. Joining me once again is Victoria's Song of the Verge.
Are you sick of me yet?
Not remotely. You're wonderful. And your very popular listeners love you as well. It's important for you to hear this.
Oh, not for my ego. That's
you need
dangerous.
it. You need the ego. Okay. Ed Ongueso Jr. of the Tech Bubble newsletter.
Hello, my friend.
And the incredible, wonderful stand-up comedian, the star of the movie Is This Thing On? Chloe Radcliffe is joining us.
Yo.
What is up?
Hello.
Your first CES.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm a CES virgin.
Oh, man.
Wow. There's so many boys. It's crazy.
But not the cute boys.
No.
not the
There's
cute
so
boys.
many hairlines, is what I should say.
Yeah. A lot of balls.
Yeah. A
lot of
lot
balls.
of combs.
Yeah, a lot of combs.
A lot of
balls.
combs. Comb over ponytails.
Do they
Yeah.
offer any hair loss stuff?
Yes,
over
they
here?
do.
Wait.
Yes, they do. Go to Eureka Park. There's always someone who has like some LED hairband
Nice.
situation, and it's yeah.
That's good. Yeah, so Chloe, your first CES, have you seen anything that's stuck in your brain?
My biggest take has so far
Right.
from being on the floor for a pretty limited amount of
That's
time.
fine. Yeah.
Is that the theme is numbers that you don't need.
Okay.
I stopped at a booth that had a smart dog cage.
Oh, the smart pet crate. Yeah.
Yeah, smart pet crate, and it tells you your dog's heart rate and breathing rate, and then it also tells you the distance between the top of the cage and the dog.
Welcome to my beat. Useless numbers.
Useless numbers. And I said to the guy, I stopped and was looking
Yeah.
at it. And I was like, well, why do you need the distance from the top of the cage to the top of the dog? And he goes, well, that's how you know whether the dog is moving or not. And I was like, yeah, but can you just look? And he goes, well, but you're like looking at your app. And so you want to know maybe if the number has stayed static for a little while, maybe the dog has died. And I said, yeah, but wouldn't you know that from the other numbers like heart rate and breathing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
This is a patented dog death detector.
Is your dog dead?
They're gonna ramp up to 400 biometrics at some point. Like
Just a notification. Your dog is
metrics.
dead. The Lena
Don't worry.
the Lena Dunham indicator. Someone's going to be mad at me for that one. So I love that as well because it's like, oh, if the dog's moving, could an emotion sensor?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. We already have pet cams. Whoever is buying a smart pet crate also already has a video camera
yeah.
trained on that dog's
Yes.
crate.
Yep.
Yes.
That person is not doing smart crate over
Yeah.
pet cam.
Yeah, they're like, hey, can you look at this graph? Do you think he's...
Listen, I've got 2 cats and a lot of cat tech. I don't need a crate. No.
What is your crate?
I got an auto feeder.
Yeah.
It has a little camera.
Yeah.
And we did that because when we went to Italy, I was just like, I got to make sure these dumb cats are eating in between pet sitter visits. And literally day one, I'm in Italy. I watch my cat look at me through the camera. It's pissed. Knocks
They
the feeder
always
over.
do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cat rage.
Cat rage.
And I do need to ask, if the cats were not eating between feeders, between pet sitters,
Yeah.
What were you going to do from Italy?
Nothing. I was going to call the pet sitter and be crazy lady and be like, my extremely rotund 19.5 pound cat Pablo is not eating.
Is now living off its own body fat.
And it will be fine.
Yeah. And it has enough calories to support itself, but.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think that like all of these numbers that my theme of numbers that you don't need, what they wind up filtering into is anxiety. Right?
Yeah.
It's like too much information leads to anxiety.
Senior cursed tech reviewer, because I test wearables,
The numbers.
so I have useless numbers for humans.
Yes.
all the time.
Yes.
and just I'm completely overwhelmed and over inundated, and it's very accurate.
It would drive me insane. All of the sleep tech, the thing is that I'm like sort of the wrong person to be here because I'm like, stay away from me with your cameras and your vibrations.
Having you here is good. We need that kind of energy because there's too many perverts here who are like, actually, we need another number. So we know how the space between your dog and the ceiling of the crate. But what about the sides?
Yeah. How are they going to get that?
And also, I love the idea of getting a notification about what does the notification say? Your dog is this tall. We've measured your dog.
Like the smart litter robots, they're now having like cameras so you can watch your cat go into the litter robot to piss.
Why?
For the freaks.
No,
They already weigh the cats as well, so you can see how much I can literally look into an app and go like, oh, you lost like 0.5 pounds on that dookie. Good for you, Pablo.
Damn, Pablo, what you been eating, brother?
What you been eating, brother? How much you be pooping?
The only exception is if I have a cat with a urinary thing.
Yeah.
How my big, beautiful, and annoying, just like Daddy. But he is this beautiful cat he occasionally has pee problems. But you can mostly just get that by looking at your cat. Like you're just checking occasionally, be like, oh, okay, he hasn't peed in a while. I don't need a $450 Wi-Fi connected thing to be like, biding.
Are you sure?
$450?
I think that's how much they are.
No, hon. They're like $800.
Oh, fuck off. Sorry, not to you, but the cat thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
How much do you love your cat?
I love my cat
lot.
so much, but I could get him like a beautiful Armani suit. I assume you'd think God, he'd look fetching. He's a big white and ginger cat.
Armani bow tie.
Oh my God. No, I did get him a bow tie at one point.
Gotta get an Armani bow tie.
He chewed it off.
Oh. I hear it. Yeah, I used to get my cats. I had the bow ties with bells so I could hear them because they would disappear into spaces I didn't know were in the house, and they always would rip them off and leave them.
Yeah,
outside,
like a real
hovel.
fuck you. Like just like that's where that shit goes.
Yeah.
All right, don't
real.
put bells on me.
Yeah,
That's peak
I put a
cat
little
behavior.
tat on it, a little tie on him as well once. There's so many good things you can do with a cat, none of which involve an $850 piss measurer.
One time I tied a balloon around a tortoise.
Hey, did it?
Why?
Because we kept losing it. I lived with my roommate and a tortoise, and it kept getting stuck onto the radiator. But then we wouldn't find it for a couple days. She was fine, but
I saw
we
a
kept
video.
being
So
like,
this tortoise was just walking around the apartment with a fucking balloon.
yeah.
Like a tortoise version of Up.
That's
She was trying to get
innovation.
taken away.
That's innovation.
Yeah, that should be at the consumer
No, but like no,
electronics.
at the Consumer Electronics Show, it would probably be like a wearable tortoise tracker with Bluetooth,
Yeah.
and it would
And
measure.
it's like, no, you can steal a balloon from a
would have,
kid.
like-
You can ruin a kid's day to
would-
get your tortoise found.
it would have like an optical tracker to read the tortoise's temperature and its heart rate.
Yeah,
So you
for
go to
sure.
an app and be like, "Is my reptile alive?"
Has this ever happened to you? It's just a tortoise slowly walking on something. Yeah, that'd be $700 a piece of
I
shit.
saw there's this video from an account I follow because of this video where they have a tortoise and they have a cat, and
Nice.
the tortoise has a skateboard to follow the cat around all day and harass
Okay.
him. That's the tech I would get.
That's-
a little skateboard for my little guys. That's
Someday we're all going to go back to analog.
Yes, you're right. You were just saying before the show.
Tortoises, cats, and skateboards. That's the real technology
Yeah,
we need.
you know?
Did you get any other numbers that don't matter or make you upset?
There was a sleep bot.
Nice.
I think I'm calling it the right thing. It's a smart pillow.
Oh, I've
Okay.
tested those before.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
And
it do?
It seems like the actual useful thing is that it's filled with these little like pneumatic air sacs that inflate or deflate based on your snoring to stop you from
Okay.
snoring.
They already do
And
that
that's-
in beds. Yeah. Okay.
That seems right. Like I can buy that. It's like
Yeah.
that passes the sniff test. But this pillow also, when it senses your head is on the pillow, it turns off your lights. It turns off your speaker, if you have a speaker playing, it closes your curtains for you automatically. And then it, this is not a lie, texts your family that you are asleep. And I took pictures of.
Do not disturb.
Is this a pillow for a prison?
Just want to let you know I'm going to
pretty
sleep.
close. I'm reading the example text that it has. Sending a message to the family. Cassie, Oscar has been detected lying down. Period.
Wow, they're so worse than I thought.
Jimmy, Oscar has been detected lying down. Period. I am not making this up. Dr. Larry Calabresi, Oscar has been detected lying down.
Texting my doctor. He has this is a prison pillow.
Yeah.
Like, this is just for
What would you do if you got that text?
I would be horrified.
That'd be so funny.
I mean, everyone who comes to CES with me has to use this pillow. I love the idea as well that you're just going to bed, your blinds are open, all of the lights are on, you're just blaring corn, I assume.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have no way of doing any of this myself, so just my pillow will take. What fucking psychopath?
I know.
Sleep tech is all about like optimization. That's why my newsletter's called like
nice.
Optimizer. This whole beat of health tech and all that is just about having the most optimal something.
Right.
So they're like, oh, science shows that if you sleep in like XYZ conditions, you'll sleep so good. So have a pillow, close all of these things so you're in the most optimal sleep environment, whatever. And like, yeah, it is good to have an optimal sleep environment. It is good for you to do all that stuff, but you don't need to fucking text your Dr. Calabresi about you're sleeping.
That would be such a strange text to receive. Like, he is, and especially with the way it was written, like Galactus was telling
has been detected. Also, the smart pillow doesn't like smooth out your bed sheets for you.
No.
You know, like all of the stuff that actually makes everything that actually makes sleeping good.
Yeah.
Which is like wear the right clothes for you to sleep in and have the right bed. You know, it's like the
I've done
none
so
of the digital
much,
shit.
I've done
anything.
so much sleep tech testing, and the only thing that's really worked for me and my spouse is unfortunately a $5,000 smart mattress cover, which is
What did it do?
The cooling one.
It's the eight sleep. Yeah,
I pay for one as well. I got a few,
Yeah.
and like. But people made fun of it because of the AWS thing. When it went down, your bed wouldn't work.
yeah, no,
which is-
that happened to me
That didn't
too.
happen to me. I
No,
think
it
I'm not-
happened.
Oh,
It definitely happened
but
to
like,
us. But
I need to sleep in an ice coffin. Like, I just, my poor girlfriend, just like, even for her, it was too cold. I'm just like, yeah, I sleep at 50 degrees, like
Yeah.
I'm
But
Dracula.
it saves marriages and relationships because you could sleep at different temperatures.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to be a cozy little gal.
Like
I need
warm
it to
or-
be warm.
Yeah, I need to be a little
warm.
bug in a rug.
I need to be like toasty, and my spouse also needs to be a corpse.
Yeah.
So we can set different temperatures.
I need to set to
Also-
Dracula.
Yeah, and they snore, and it used to be a thing where every like day I would hear them snoring, and I'd be like, wake the fuck up so I can sleep. But now the bed actually just lifts when it detects him snoring.
Oh, that's nice.
And-
Only on his side?
no, on our side. So sometimes I go like, oh, it's moving, and then I will fall right back asleep. But ever since that happened, he doesn't wake me up snoring anymore.
That's good.
Like, it saved our marriage.
Wow.
basically.
This is
lovely.
Unfortunately, you're selling me on this $5,000 mattress cover.
But unfortunately, it also comes with useless numbers, like how often I sleep.
I know
The
my
most useless number.
Here's my psychopath thing, though. I have my numbers for my 8 sleep, and I have my numbers for my Aura Ring, and they disagree all the time.
Same.
I love it. Yeah.
Same. This
And
is
it's-
like long-term
and
testing
it's-
that I do.
My favorite
Yeah.
thing was I posted because I also use Somni, which is the thing that electrocutes. It actually works. I love it. It's this thing that you electrocute your head. It sounds insane. Just best not to think too hard. But like, I posted my numbers on Blue Sky once, which was a mistake, and someone was immediately like, "You're not getting enough deep sleep. You should be
Okay,
really
but-
concerned." I'm like, I really
To
had to
be
stop
clear-
myself being like, "Kill yourself."
To be clear, the Oura Ring is like, they do a lot of science, they do a lot of research. They're only about like, I want to say 79% correlation between
Nice.
the gold standard of polysomnography.
Nice.
So that's a 20% difference.
Are you guys dreaming a lot?
No.
I do have medications.
Y'all dreaming
that
That'll do it.
my new medications are giving me night terrors. It's really bad.
My roommate, I heard him go, just in the middle of the night. I was like, you guys. Sorry,
I started.
He was listening to
yeah.
he was listening to Disturbed, but he lied down on his pillow and it cut the music.
You've met him, cool.
He has night terrors?
Yeah.
He strikes me as the kind of guy who just wake up like, la, 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 la.
Yeah, I used to think when he went to sleep, he would just be in his memory palace.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
actually,
like regarding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. It's like the basic things for sleep are like, is it light in there or dark in there? Are you the right temperature? Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but what if the pillow did all this shit that you already...
I asked the people at the booth, I was like, but what if I want to lay in bed and not have the lights out
Yeah.
yet? And he goes, well, then you'd have to put another pillow on top.
Fuck yeah, dude. What's great is... What's so good about that is likely no one has asked them that.
Yeah.
You're the first person to be like, what if I am in bed but not sleeping yet?
Yeah.
He's like, fuck. How much was this? Did he give you a price?
I didn't even ask. I should have asked.
It's probably like...
It's probably like my estimate is $675 or something like that. It's
Which
always
is
a
insane.
stupid number.
Because you could go on like eBay and get some like really nice sheets that will like
Yeah.
some like crisp percale, perhaps.
I've tested smart pillows in the past, but like it was a very different smart pillow. It was testing like my breathing rate and whatnot, but it was also like it had a speaker in there, so you could listen to your podcast to fall asleep in your smart pillow. And I was like, this is dumb. It's so dumb.
I'm someone who, I'm not trying to optimize sleep, but I do value the dream portion of it. So is there is for someone like me who's just like I'm interested in deeper sleep, does it make sense to go on the journey of trying out the smart tech, or should I just invest in really
Melatonin.
nice? I don't dream on melatonin.
What about trazodone? You try
Really? Because
trazodone?
usually melatonin will make your dreams super intense.
No,
Does
I just
nothing.
wake up. I wake up.
What about magnesium, the one that doesn't make you poop?
Haven't done what is it? I know I haven't tried a magnesium.
I think
before,
it's
but-
magnesium glycinate makes you sleep, and magnesium citrate makes you shit.
Okay.
L-theanine relaxes you, magnesium L-theanine. And then there's also, you could try a GLP because one of the side effects of that is intensely vivid dreams.
Oh yeah, I mean, I lucid dream regularly, which is why I'm like, okay, I'll do anything except whatever goes and infringes on that. But I've never thought too much about doing the tech beyond like, I'll just invest in really nice sheets, and get myself really comfy.
The sleep measurement stuff sucks, but I really love the heat. I love the cold. I love the fact.
I mean, the control over the environment sounds really
I burn
nice
hot.
on a
I
level.
sleep in. I look inside. I have like a full scale like blackout eye mask. I have a giant sheet. I like curl myself up in a ball. It's probably not great. Like, it's probably not a great sign. And I'm just like cold and like wrapped in this thing. Like I'm just blacked out. Like, and I wake up when my alarm goes off and not a moment earlier. It's fucking great. I mean, I write constantly. I think like this is the only reason I can. Just like endless sleep. But the numbers do fucking nothing for me. I wake up feeling like shit. It's like you didn't sleep enough. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, the numbers make it so much worse because mostly if I'm having trouble sleeping, then a huge proportion of my brain is fixated on I am not sleeping, and that is bad.
Yeah.
And so then to have, when they're like, this is going to help you sleep better, I'm like, no, it's going to remind me how badly I'm sleeping, and that's going to make me sleep so much worse. Because every night when I lay down, it's going to be like, well, tonight has to be the night that it is good
Or else.
now. Yeah.
And you
That's
get
very common.
your loved ones get a text saying she's not sleeping.
Chloe has been detected lying down, but has not been detected unconscious yet.
Chloe has violated the rules of the pillow.
Of Sleepbot.
That metric is called sleep latency, and
latency?
it fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Wait,
There-
what?
How long it takes you to sleep?
how long until you try to go to sleep, and how when you actually fall asleep, it's called sleep latency, and you can kind of measure certain things by that. It's bullshit. It's not bullshit, but it's bullshit.
I occasionally really like. I'll get like a 2-minute one. I'll be like, "Fuck yeah!"
Well, like all
In
it
your
does,
face.
all it does is if you have a sleep latency under 15 minutes, it just means you're real fucking tired, and that's bad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, you mean like healthy people have?
About 15 minutes to fall asleep.
Interesting.
That's like a normal.
Take
amount.
that, boyfriend.
Yeah, like if you're falling,
He falls asleep in 45 seconds.
It's like if you,
And then I lay there
But he's healthy.
angry. I lay there listening to him get this peaceful rest that I should be enjoying.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
you fall asleep too quickly. It could be
1
a sign of
hour
sleep
yesterday.
disorder.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay. 17, 6 minutes 2 days ago, 13,
Your sleep
16,
latency?
7, 16, 28, 8, 33, 1. fucking last Friday, 1 minute, just fucking done. I think I was like in Vermont with my girlfriend and very happy. So
That's
like,
nice.
That's lovely. No, send her that later, and she'll be like,
all you need is like a baseline, and like the only point of these numbers is to build a long-term baseline. And when you're off the baseline, you go like, oh, okay, maybe something's
And I guess
happening.
to me, it's yet again to go back to sort of the theme of earlier. Don't you know when you're off the baseline by I'm having trouble sleeping lately?
yeah, I'm having trouble getting to sleep.
Like the whole point of this is that they're trying to do something like illness prediction, and there is science that they can do that. Like during COVID, they were doing all of that stuff. But
Aura is not great at that.
it actually is.
It hasn't been great for me.
I've gotten it where like the symptom radar is just like you're getting sick, and then I would get sick. So like, but you know, it's not that helpful because it's like a 48-hour window.
Again, I know. I'm like,
I know.
My throat has a tiny tickle. I'm about to get sick.
Like all of this stuff came from like when they were doing COVID research because it's asymptomatic. So you could get like that sort of
But this is the thing with all this wellness shit. It's like, well, you can't be mad at us that it isn't really useful because once it was.
Snake oil.
That's
my beat. Snake oil.
The snake oil cursed amulet
text.
beat.
Yeah. I just sit here and go like, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. Here's the nuance, and everyone yells at me, and they're like, "You're a big pharma shill," and I'm like, "No, I'm not."
What the fuck does that mean? What do you mean, big pharma shill?
Oh, I wrote a story recently about the Wellness Wild West. It's kind of like a storyline that I read about a lot, and I was talking about how people shouldn't be injecting unapproved drugs into
Ideally
their bodies, even if a TikTok.
As in peptides?
Yes.
Chinese peptides.
Don't do that. Don't take GLP-3. It's not actually a GLP-3 because the only people with access to the proprietary like components to that is Eli Lilly. So whatever you're getting from China is almost 100% not a GLP-3.
And you're not saying GLP-3 is a problem, just getting it from an unlicensed Chinese
getting
pharmacist.
it from an unlicensed Chinese pharmacist is not a great idea, bub. Reconstituting it yourself. You are not a pharmacist. I don't see any of you on TikTok using fucking sterile ingredients or sterile instruments or whatnot. Like, I said that, and they were like, you fucking big pharma shill. And I was like, I can't believe me saying don't use unapproved drugs is me being a big pharma shill.
This week I'm using the new viral GLP from
they're
China.
Calling it Retta and Ratatouille because they're, the videos of it's like, oh my God, here's week 1 on Retta. I'm like, first of all, you're not on Retta. You're on some other fucking cocktail
What's
bullshit.
Retta?
The thing that they're calling GLP-3, which is also like not the correct way to call it, is retatrutide.
I feel if you describe this like I went to a mysterious man who handed me some pills, you'd be like, yeah, that sounds bad. You should go to the doctor. But this is like, well, no, because I got it from the internet.
Yeah.
I just was reading an article about peptides not because I was like, would those make my life better? Certainly not that. Not because I was thinking about trying them. And I read an article, and somebody was just saying like, they're all over Silicon Valley, and like this crew, crypto loves them, AI loves them, whatever else. This other thing loves them. Mm-hmm. And whoever was quoted said, the only group that's a little more skeptical is anybody who works in biotech is a little bit more skeptical, but they're just so in the pocket of the FDA, or they like bow down to the FDA. And I was like, well, the other interpretation is this is the world that they work in, and they're steeped in way more information than somebody who works in crypto is about peptides specifically. So maybe their skepticism is like healthy and rational.
Well, it's partly like the FDA doesn't want you to have that, and I get where that's coming from because healthcare sucks in our country. Yeah. It's expensive. These things could be helpful, but you're getting blocked from it. They are trying to make sure that they're making the most amount of money of it. Those are all true things, but the FDA exists. We have these regulations because people fucking died.
Yes.
People died before.
Yeah.
Like this is how people die or get really adverse effects. Cause I don't know, but Dr. Matt on TikTok, who is most certainly not an actual doctor, telling you how to dose gray market Chinese peptides from like things you bought from Amazon. I'm sorry, when you're in the comments and you're like, oh yeah, I was vomiting uncontrollably. Oh, I wonder why.
I'm just doing weight loss meth. Well, I guess that's just meth.
I had such a distant sense of the GLP-1s because I've been learning about them from the way in which they're displacing insulin production in a lot of places. And hadn't had a good sense of the extent to which I was like, oh, why are they calling them Chinese peptides so incessantly? And that piece was interesting, and that Times piece was interesting in laying out one, Silicon Valley's obsession with them, and also making click into sense the fact that I feel like we're seeing other subcultures be like, well, like, yeah, of course you got to do it yourself. Of course you got to looks max. Of course you got to, yeah, you know, like
the optimization curse.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
I also just want to be abundantly clear about something, by the way. We're not saying GLP-1 is a bad thing. It's fine if you take, like, it's totally fine. Just want to be really abundantly clear.
They were developed. I mean, and one of the use cases is for, like, you know, if you have, for example, diabetes, you know, you know, that's one of the proven use cases. And
or if you use it for weight loss,
weight
as long as a doctor gives it to you.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing it in your bathtub.
Dr. Matt, a PhD in philosophy, who's teaching you.
But it has been so fascinating to see the extent to which people are like throwing a lot of reason out of the door just to be like, no, this is fine, this is okay, actually. And you are a big pharma shell if you are, you know,
if I just go like maybe, you know, bodybuilders who already are very lean taking so-called GLP-3, maybe that's not a great idea because they've actually never studied what this medication does in people with low body fat. Yeah. You also, don't know what it'll do.
How many times are we going to do this? How many times are we going to do a wave of a drug that does seem to have a really miraculous impact on people, and then, you know, the crusading group of power users maybe will, you know, who are like, hey, you know, well, if you're not supporting everyone using it as widely as possible, then you're in the pocket of the.
I mean, side effects are
a lot
real.
more times.
Yes, no, exactly.
Side effects are real. You may
real.
not actually want to have those side effects, and like these drugs are so new, we don't know what the long-term effect is, and it's not bad to say like, you know. You're always weighing a pro and con. Like, I'm willing to do the side effect because the alternative is worse. Yeah. And like, those are conversations you need to have with a real fucking doctor. Yeah. Oh,
not
my
a
God.
Comment section. Yeah.
Not a comment section. Not some Billy Bob doctor boo on TikTok.
It seems it's. Let me start that sentence over. A thought that I was having on the plane here is it feels like society as a whole, and particularly like the sections of society that are more online, that are more techified, that are more, you know, whatever, for sort of forward in that kind of progression, have plenty of room for skepticism when it comes to systems of like social support, but do not have room for skepticism about tech
or science.
Yeah.
Just like medicine, like, oh, medicine, vaccines. Why would we do that despite hundreds of years of evidence? Right. Like, they can't possibly be right because Coach Matt told me on TikTok and it seems right.
And I mean, I say this from a perspective of I've been very overweight in my life. Like, I used to be like 350 pounds a while back. And it's like, I get the desperation.
Yeah.
I get the desperation, especially when it's like GLP-1 is like very GLP-3, I'm sorry. But it's like very expensive. You have to go to a doctor and all that. And just being like, maybe I could do this cheaper. Maybe my doctor won't give it to me, maybe whatever. And I get that fucking desperation. You'll try, like when I've had weight problems, like you're fucking scratching at the walls trying to find some cheat code around the actual hard thing of changing lifestyle, which I should be clear, it's very fucking difficult. I have sympathy with everyone. I've been through it multiple cycles in my life. I get it, but it's like, to your point, Victoria, it's like, yeah, you're going to get side effects. I'd rather roll the dice on the doctor who's using the thing that they know the side effects, they've done trials and such versus...
You know, the doctor, it's hard because you go to doctors and doctors don't listen to you. I have PCOS, I have metabolic conditions. I'm on a GLP actually for like PCOS and fatty liver. And getting to that point was over a 10-year-long journey.
Yeah.
But these were conversations I was having, and I had to fire like 5 doctors because one was like, listen to the Huberman lab. No.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Or like,
just wake up, pour some cold water on yourself.
Maybe you should be a vegan. Fuck off. Not to like say anything about vegans, but like that's not the solution I was looking for. Or just being like, well, you know, PCOS causes weight gain. Also, the solution is weight loss, but also your body will not let you lose the weight. So just lose some weight. And like, I understand that desperation, like from a very personal level, but at the same time, you have to believe in science. You have to believe in like the process exists because people have died because side effects are also debilitating to quality of life. The worst part about being on a GLP for me is that I like food. I don't have a lot of food noise. I actually genuinely don't have food noise. My liver just wants to fuck me over. And so, like, I can't eat. It sucks.
That sounds fucking terrible.
It takes the joy out of eating for me. I don't enjoy it at all.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and like I'm tired. I get fucking clown nightmares. I literally had a nightmare that my spouse's ex came running after me, and I was like, oh, this hoe. And then she turned into Pennywise the fucking clown, the Bill Skarsgård version. I woke up screaming. Like, this is a side effect that I have.
Your ex and a clown.
Yeah, no, that's a side effect I have. This is a thing, you know, and you have to weigh those pros and cons for health. But, you know, in the pursuit of optimization, and that's rampant here at CES, people are like, yeah, numbers that don't matter. Do this, do that. And it's like, this is why I have mental health problems doing my job.
But now you have numbers to help.
Yeah. Now you have so many numbers. I want to go back to one thing that you said, which is, you said you have to believe in science.
Yeah.
Because people have died. We've done this, whatever. I think that there's just a huge swath of the population, which is heavily represented here, of people who would just say, no, you don't have to believe in science. Yeah. It is lies. It is, it is bunk. It is biased. It is whatever. And that fracture is where I'm like, oh no. We've not just about science particularly, but sort of like the like communal agreement on some like really foundational social pillars.
Consensus reality.
Yeah, consensus reality is like seems to be crumbling.
And it doesn't help that the leader of the FDA sounds like a fucking Cyberman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
he should be at CES.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
No, we can't make fun of him. It's a physical condition. We can't make fun of him
Yes,
for that.
we
We
can.
can make fun of that for the fucking worm in his brain.
The worm in his brain and the fact
the
that he
whale
says
corpse
that
and the bear corpse.
he keeps me up at night because in June he was like, in 4 years I want every American wearing a wearable, and as one of the most quantified people on the earth wearing 3 to 4 wearables continuously 24/7 365. No. Don't do that.
So at that point, we can rotate our guest one last time. Thank you so much for listening. The upcoming ad, I assume, is not for weight loss drugs. If it is, well, I guess you know how we feel about that now, but that's not really my goddamn problem. Welcome back to the Better Offline CES experience. We were just talking about wanking, I guess.
Yeah, we were talking.
Be more specific.
I was saying the fleshlights they're just okay, and so why would
And
you
I
even need
was
them to be
saying,
motorized?
interesting take.
I must be clear. I don't.
Oh, what? Because because I admit to using a sex toy.
This is a sex-negative podcast, Adam.
A man who uses a sex toy. Women are vibrator. But
Yeah,
as soon
because
as I
men
say
are
fleshlight-
inadequate. Because men, and if you say that women are inadequate, I will take deep offense.
Introducing the next generation of sex toy.
Welcome to Better Offline. You complained last year we didn't have enough women, which was true. Now we've got one that's just immediately created a fracture. We got you for 2 more days as well. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Now this
I'm gonna cause chaos.
And truthfully, having you've got an amazing team as the core Better Offline team for the show as well. And I'm actually like both you and Adam, Chloe, you both kind of were like, it's like Adam, you've done a bit of tech, Chloe, you've not done really, and you're like, oh, am I going to be all right to do this? Because I haven't done it. This is the perfect view because I think the really tech poisoned people are incapable of just being like, that sounds fucking useless. That sounds dumb as shit. Even the jack off machine, it's like, you're going to attach this heavy looks pretty heavy.
It didn't look useful or necessary. It's
Welcome to
basically
CES.
we've already talked about it in a previous segment.
We see a big banner that says CES. It doesn't look useful or necessary. 2026.
to describe, because we talked about the Handy and Handy 2 in a previous segment. We didn't describe what it is.
Oh, that's the name.
It's basically it's called it's a joke product. They're just there to make people laugh. It's like the inner core of a fleshlight, which is like, okay, a fleshlight, if you're not familiar, you know the sticky hand from the vending machine at the supermarket?
Jesus Christ.
Is that the material?
That's the material
I guess
inside of a
you gotta
fleshlight.
put lube in it.
You put lube in it and it's squishy, okay?
Yeah.
And again, just okay as an experience. It's been in a drawer for years, right? And I got it for free, by the way, because I used to do a comedy show in a sex shop in Los Angeles. Wonderful show
Cool.
at the Pleasure Chest. But I didn't pay for it. But so imagine.
I would have. It was on my list.
I support the industry.
I actually genuinely support this stuff. I don't care.
It's the squishy core of a fleshlight, and then it's attached to a Velcro harness, which is attached to like a big piece of metal machinery that moves it up and down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have hands.
Yeah. And here's my pitch. Here's my pitch for an analog version of that is take one of the actual sticky hands that you actually stick on the window and put some lube on that and just hold that on the palm of your hand and check that
Next
out.
year.
That's going to feel like it's somebody else's hand.
Here's what I would like. I would like a woman to stand across the room and go, a big sticky hand right on my dick.
I must also be clear, by the way. So I looked up the Handy 2. I just want to be clear. There are 2 SKUs. And there is the standard, which is 1 hour of battery life, save $60 launch price, and it's regularly $299. And then there's the 5 hours of battery.
Oh, the Gooner. Gooner package.
Yeah,
Okay.
$379 down from $499. And you scroll down and it's like, we recommend the fast charger Handy. And I just got to ask, how much are you doing that?
Yeah.
Well,
Purchase the award-winning VR-compatible automatic stroker.
Sometimes
Jesus.
it takes a while.
But isn't the point of it? It's VR compatible. Come on.
I mean, you're watching the pornos and all that, but
But isn't the point of the device that it's supposed to be very fast? It's supposed to make you come fast.
Really?
Well, I would think so.
They should put
But
a
it's got
screen
4
on
hours
it.
of battery life.
Yeah, I know.
They should use like most of that battery life for a little screen where you can watch some porn on it while you're, going at it.
It's just really like people that don't have sex or jack off. It sounds like just like these sexless people.
I would love to know the man who is horny enough to want to use the jack off machine, but so dedicated to tech that when he goes to pick up his jack off machine and the battery's dead, he goes, "Oh, I have to put it on my fast charger now and wait for 7 minutes for it to gain enough battery life to make me come."
Tapping his foot like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sitting on his hands, being like, "There's no other way to do this."
Has this ever happened to you? I must be clear. This is a sex positive podcast. It's great. Sex is wonderful. It's a great thing between consenting adults and waifu tubes, I guess. And it's just very strange to look at another product on the show. It's just like an alien made this. Like what do you need? You can't jack off, I guess, or you really want to. And also, I just feel like just as a masturbator, that's a great thing to say. I just feel like picking this thing up, I would just be consumed with shame immediately. The only thing that would make me more ashamed would be if it was out of battery. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, fuck.
I've used it.
Yeah, just like I'm too into this.
See now, this is my pet peeve because I think when you say be consumed with shame, you're ashamed of your own sexuality. Yet that's what's happening.
God no.
Is you are ashamed of the idea of masturbating with a device. Why?
Because my hands can do it perfectly fine. I can have sex with my
but
But why
girlfriend.
shame?
Why shame? Why not amusement? If your hands can do it perfectly fine.
Like
No, I'm
like,
just well. Already we're in this weird world where I wouldn't buy it.
yeah.
Like so, it's just.
Would
it's
you
just
feel
like-
ashamed? Not ashamed. Would you feel shame if you picked up a flashlight? If you were going to use a flashlight, or is the machine worse?
No, I just feel
is
like
the machine laughing at you?
I just have never seen this. We're now going on the show where just everyone's like, "How does Ed jack off?" No, it's just like the idea of
The
a machine
listeners
for
wanna
it is
know?
unnecessary to me. I don't like
well,
if someone else used it.
That's because
Maybe they're goon maxing?
The male sex toy is not a jerk off device because we can do that perfectly fine.
novelty item.
The real male sex toy is a butt plug and men won't buy them. That's
I don't want
the
anything
real.
with my
It's
bum.
prostate stimulation.
Yeah, that is true.
And you know what? If you like that, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
My problem is, and you know what? Maybe there's a guy who just like he's like a sex guy and he likes all the different kinds. Fine, that sounds fine. I just think like if I got a machine that was out of batteries for jack it off and it was unpowered, I'd be like, oh, I've been doing this a lot, haven't I?
Do the sex toys have big useless numbers too?
Oh my god, I wonder if they do.
You haven't been coming lately.
Hey, you having sex?
Your cum latency. the distance of time between when you begin to jack off versus when you
It's like a little prompter. You okay? You haven't come
You want
this
to
time.
establish a baseline, and when you are off the baseline, that is when you will know.
I'm actually looking now to see if there's any metrics that come. Discreet delivery. I mean, sure.
Discreet delivery.
Would it be nice? What if Withings made a sex toy and then it tracked your, you know what I mean? It gave you some stats. The Gooners might like that, like some jerk off. So what? Yeah, like how about like a special watch for jerking off that like Matt, you know,
you have like a stat line. You
know?
It's
a stat line. It lets you know how efficient you're being and how much time you spent.
Or it's like, do you know how on treadmills you can follow the little workouts where it like shows it's like it's gonna get faster now, and then the treadmill goes faster, and you have to run faster, and then it's like now it's slower. If you had a little gooning workout line where it could be like go faster now, and then it's like slow down, and you like follow your little workouts.
I mean, this
is Gooners, listen to me.
You're describing JOI videos, jack off instruction videos.
Well, I just want to read something from the website.
Which is a really good form of video porn. I think those are like, it's very kind of wholesome because it's sort of like I want someone to instruct me.
There's a relationship.
There's a relationship about the jerking off.
Yeah,
I just want to be clear. There is a button on this website to lead you to various videos. It says explore the Handyverse, and
the Handyverse.
I don't feel great having read that.
The greatest sin that Mark Zuckerberg has committed on the face of this planet is giving us blank verse.
Yeah. We
Nothing
got the
else he's done
with
has
Earth
come close.
We got the Handyverse with Earth 69. What else?
I'm actually oddly like, what is handy feeling? There's like a whole thing, and I'm like coming around to this. Like, this isn't for me, but I'm like, okay, if someone's a real beat offerer, like this is quite nice.
I don't know. The reason I feel shame is because I feel like we're falling for it because this is a gag product.
No,
we're talking
real.
about it.
No, this is real. This is like a real thing they're charging for it.
It exists, but I don't think it serves it's to laugh at CES and to buy your friend for a bachelor
I just
party.
don't know if I agree. Like, here's the thing. Woman sex toys very well documented and used and talked about quite
We've seen pictures of them.
Yeah.
They're real.
But also, like, women discuss them. I feel like, Adam, you're like one of the only men I've talked to about sex who's just not immediately like, yeah, I've had it like 1 million times, but I can't discuss it at all.
Yeah.
It's a secret. But it's like, I believe that, like, there are men who jack off in this manner, and good on them. As long as it's like normal and consensual and like
I could be wrong. I just don't believe in this product. I believe in sex toys for men. I believe they're underrepresented as a product category. But I believe where this product is situated in the hall and the way that they have designed it.
Oh, this is at CES.
Is it? Yeah, at CES.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to the pod, Edward.
I thought we were just talking about a toy.
Hey, man, welcome to the chat.
Because the only one I saw was the Love Sense one, which was the vibrators. I was like, okay, I saw that last year also. So I was like, okay, that's the one I know.
It's in the Eureka Hall, and it's sort of positioned. It's like meant to make you laugh. And
So-
I think it's a $500 bachelor party gift.
But was it a big booth?
They had a big booth, yeah.
Then that's a real company because that was
Well, I
probably
mean,
like,
look, men called it big, women called it average.
yeah, it was just a regular size, but nice.
Nice.
But that's the thing. If they have a regular sized booth, possibly bordering,
It's a perfectly normal sized booth, okay?
it's a good sized booth.
Gets the job done.
Grower of a booth.
It gets bigger during the show. If like that's a real company, because otherwise it's just like, yeah, we put $100,000 in the jack off booth. I do like the idea of just walking over. Can I have a go?
Hey, come on over to the jack-off booth.
Come in.
We have a
Anyway,
nice booth.
Anyway,
in the booth for you.
We're going to segue away from this right
Well,
now.
here's a question that is sort of off of this theme. As a CES virgin,
Right.
not to really lean into this kind of language,
Lean into it.
how many of these products, like there are a lot of products that seemed absolutely fucking useless.
Yes.
And what I don't know is how many of the people who are here earnestly believe that what they are hawking is going to make the world better in some way, and how many people like what is the percentage split between earnest believers, people who are here for a paycheck because they need a job and this happens to be the job they're doing, and people who are totally disillusioned but are still doing it for the paycheck but like are totally jaded. I would be curious for that
I think
split.
what it is like you get a job, it's hard getting a job, and you get the product and it's like, well, I gotta fucking believe in something. So you learn the talking points and you're like, the pillow thing you were talking about last piece. It's like that person clearly had never had a conversation with someone who's like, yeah, but what if I want to lie in bed without falling asleep? Because they've memorized the talking points and they've internalized them. I'm sure that there are a percentage of cynical people, but I think a lot of these people are just like not thought about it too much. They're like, yeah, the air purifier with the spike on it that the dog scratches itself on, that makes perfect sense because I've been forced to believe it because this is how I make money. And I think that there's something kind of sad about it because you have to believe. I mean, working PR, like there's a certain degree at times when you get a product. I don't do consumer electronics, but like in the past where I've had to be like, yay, here we go. It's like, it's how I'm going to pay my mortgage. Like, I think that there's a degree of that. And I think some people are just fucking stupid. I think there's some people who are just like, yeah, it's a pillow. Isn't it cool? It can do this. And they focus on how cool it is. And then when they think for 2 seconds, they go, oh, fuck, this is what an alien would use. Like, this is like, it's just like Star Trek, except nothing like it.
And I think so.
I also think a lot of them are just happy to like do the job.
Yeah.
You know, like when I went to the orb thing, my orb debacle, a lot of the people I talk, well, whatever, people know about it or they don't. But when I talk to people who work for this horrible product, like some of them seemed kind of enthusiastic. Some of them sort of had 1,000-yard stares.
Yeah.
You know, where I was talking to them going like, they're making like $300,000 a year probably.
Yeah.
Working for like a Sam Altman company, doing interesting work. Like they want to be an engineer. They're a software engineer. They're working on something that's technically interesting. They would like for it to work. They sort of have to drink the Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
In the same way that someone who's like working on a shitty movie is like, I'm living the dream. Oh, the movie kind of sucks, but I'm living the dream. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm making movies. Like it's this
that makes sense.
suspension of disbelief.
But I respect people on movies way more. Like, just want to be clear, like learning about how movies are made recently, it's insane a single movie has ever been made.
Yeah.
I do not understand how any movie is made.
Well, they're not made anymore.
Well, yeah, that's also the other thing. No, they're either $100 million or $1 million. There's no other movies.
When you watch movies now, like I was watching like Rob Reiner movies because he passed away, of course. And when you watch like Harry Met Sally or another movie like that, it's like walking through like the ruins of like a Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
Like in the Dark Ages, like look at what humans used to be able to do. Like it's.
And then you watch Stranger Things and there's a big crab and Winona Ryder punches it to death, and you just, I don't watch that show.
None of it has any
My
weight,
life's strange enough already, and it's just sad. But I think movies are going to be okay. I'm choosing to be optimistic for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of a whole
That's
other,
a separate,
whole other conversation. But I do think that there's a lot of people who would say, like the same people who see movies as sort of the dinosaurs, the things of the past, are the people who see a lot of shit at CES, who sort of willingly drink the Kool-Aid of a lot of the shit at CES and are like, this is the stuff of the future, without actually even being paid $300,000 by the company.
Because they want to be first. They want to be first to this.
Or they sort of have gotten on the roller coaster of, they're addicted to the high of the possibility of success.
The newness.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when it was over 10 years ago now, but I was working at College Humor and stuff like Google Glass would come out. And my coworkers would be like, it's going to be the future. And just based on the premise alone, and I'd have to be like, I don't think so. And I was right. Same thing happened with VR, you know.
Just like wait, Adam. Google Glass is coming.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses.
People were they had the script in them for,
I think,
and they want it to be true. They just want something new that's going to be fun.
I also, I'd be curious what you think, because you've been coming to CS for a while. How much of it is also people at a firm that tried to sell something to another business and it failed and now they're doing consumer? Because I feel like I would talk to some people, especially in Eureka Park, and they wouldn't say it, but you could hear in the conversation that there was a much more ambitious plan and that fell through, and now they're winnowing it down to something else that a consumer might be able to use.
It's the rot economy, baby. It's growth at all costs. Because if you solve a small, boring problem for 1 million people, that fucking rocks. Is that going to be worth $10 billion? No. Are you going to be able to take that public? No. Are you going to sell it to another company? No. But if you say, I'm going to solve fucking everything forever, you'll get hundreds of millions of dollars because you've just overpromised. And being part of this newness, futuristic thing and vaguely attaching yourself to it, if you're wrong, you can say, oh, it was experimental. If you're right, you can say, I was first.
Yeah, but and that's sort of to what Adam was saying about wanting it's my language now, like wanting the possibility of success, addicted to the high of that possibility. But Edward, what you were saying, I think you're saying like when you're saying that they had a more ambitious plan, do you mean they had a more ambitious plan for what the tech itself could be capable of? Or do you mean like they've figured out a tech that is capable of whatever it is, and their ambitious plan was to use it in a much broader use case or a much higher scale use case, and now they've sort of been like shunted down to a booth at CES where they're trying to make somebody pay $600.
Sometimes it feels like they thought the idea was worth 10x what it actually is.
Do you have an example?
I mean, I saw it a lot more last year, where it would be people talking about tech that's helpful, assistive tech, but their initial formulation of it seemed to be, we are going to apply this at scale in workplaces,
right,
to augment your productivity
like that
as
chip
a worker.
for like standing up at the thing for opening the cash register.
Right. You know, something like that where it's like not even really clear that would be adopted at an individual scale.
Also, that one really pissed me off because it's like, you don't give a fuck about anyone working
Couldn't
at
find them
McDonald's.
again.
You don't look them in the eye.
No.
You were excited about touching a screen to order your treats, you little pig.
You know, it feels like it's like we wanted to sell this at scale to like McDonald's and a bunch of other fast food restaurants, and that didn't work. So now we are cobbling together some of the IP to figure out another approach that might be usable in smaller settings. And I feel like, you know, when I talk with people, especially in some of the assistive tech, you know, where they're not really talking about it in the way of we're helping people who are disabled or helping people who need mobility aid. It's almost adjacent to or sounding just like how we talk about convenience.
Yeah.
You know,
but did you see anything today that was of note? Like,
I mean, most of the stuff that I saw today in Eureka Park was more misuse of agentic language.
Yes, give it to me.
And saying, what if you had a chatbot that, you know, managed your home Google Calendar and told you when to pick up your kids because you forgot, or, you know, when to get the
shit.
because you don't give a shit. You know, what if you had something that would look at your shit and tell you when you're sick or not sick?
You mean literally your poop?
Yeah. No, literally, you poop.
That was one thing that Victoria, we didn't get to the piss poop. We got to the cum, sadly. But it was like there's like many different toilet measurers now.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw a good product.
Yes.
And I would describe it. I saw this product. I looked at it. I immediately recognized what it was. I walked up to them. I said, Fitbit for your cat. And they said, I guess that's what you go. Like, no, it's Fitbit for your cat. You're going to sell that. And it's like a little food dish and a bubbler for your cat. And then it, like, I don't know, has some stats about your cat. And it said, like, here's how much food is left. Here's the temperature of your cat. And then it just said, healthy, yes. And that's like really all the cat owners want is like, well, could the box say my cat's healthy and it'll relieve my anxiety? You're a cat owner.
Yes, I don't know. Like, and it's not, the only measurement is like how beautiful they are. It's like, which I remind them of constantly. How hot my cat is very funny.
Yeah, I got two cats, and it's like when I learned, I got one of the litter boxes is those automatic ones. When I learned there was an app, I asked them, do I need the app? Can I delete the app? They're like, yes. And I was like, okay, I will never look at this shit again.
Yeah.
And it works out, you know, that anything that even whirs or has a little motor other than the litter box, they destroy. They swat it, they throw it down the stairs, they push it. They literally push it to the stairs and throw it down. So I can't get anything smart for them. Anyway.
I get a Fitbit for a dog, though, because you, like, walk them. Mm-hmm. I would love to actually, just for my sick pleasure, know how fast Babu runs. Because him and his sister, Pokey, two Bengals.
With the zoomies.
They will be sleeping all day and then just randomly just like, bam! Just fucking, like, across the entire house, gone. Bam! Back.
They're trying to get their steps in.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
they've been napping all day.
Just cats, like, don't experience the same things that human beings. Like, they're not sitting there being like, do I run around a lot? They get the instinct, they're like, I need to fucking run so fast in a straight line, faster than I've ever. But it's not because they're like, I need to be healthy. They're just fucking cat. Stop trying to optimize my cat, bro. My cats are not optimal, other than how beautiful and fancy they are.
How great they are.
And how beautiful. Oh, I miss them. Anything else? Like, it's just this. You're going to be here for another 2 days. You're going to see more stuff like this. But I'm genuinely.
I saw something we all do need in present ads inside of AI. They're figuring out how to put ads inside of chatbots. how to put ads inside of any sort of interface or product that might use a generative AI.
It's so cool they haven't worked that out.
I
yet.
know. Yeah, that's also something.
Like the most obvious thing that they need it, the way
we
that
got
they
our
would
best minds
monetize this
looking into
fucking
this.
thing.
Yeah.
The one way to make
The one way that I get
Yeah.
3 emails a week from someone being like, "Have you thought that they could put ads in ChatGPT?" Yes, motherfucker. I've fucking thought every single time you've emailed me about this. I've thought about it.
Do we know why they haven't yet?
Because it's very hard to guarantee. The whole thing with ads is you need to have replicability and reliability and accountability. You can't have like an ad for a children's thing by someone looking up sex and vice versa. And the best example we have that this doesn't really work is Perplexity. Their ads chief left a few months ago and they made $20,000 selling ads in 2024 on Perplexity.
Yeah, I mean, the needs of advertisers like determine everything.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, why does YouTube work the way it works? 90% of YouTube is to please advertisers and to make sure that, you know, age verification, like content warnings, like all of it is just for them. And like they'll sort of run the show, but also isn't part of the problem that like advertising is not enough money for, you know, the massive amount of investments these companies are taking on. Like you put ads in ChatGPT,
That you're saying
it's still
like
not enough.
Yeah, it won't sustain
drop
it.
them in the bucket.
You still need trillions.
Well, the other problem they have is the information. I had a good story about this where it's like 900 million weekly active users-ish, even though OpenAI double counts people all the time. They admit this in their own academic papers. But nevertheless, only 100 million of those are in America, which is a large number, whatever. But that means like they're mostly overseas who are lower value advertising clients, because there's a very big difference between advertising someone in America versus in India or Indonesia, where they release ChatGPT Go, which is a cheaper one, which will inevitably be advertising supported. And it's just like, I do love that there are like different booths of people being like, what if we could solve the problem that OpenAI, Google, Perplexity, and multiple other companies just haven't been able to touch? It feels like watching the end of the world in a very boring way at times.
Well, so that's what brings me back to my that brings me back to my question about how earnestly do these people believe in what they're pushing?
Yeah.
Like, are there people who are like, yeah, we have the secret key. We are the geniuses. And sure, would I be hired at Google if I was really a genius? Maybe. But that's not what we're talking about right now.
I think they at the very least consider themselves to be the holder of a lottery ticket.
Yes.
Maybe it'll work. And if it works, I'm a billionaire. And if I can convince someone it kind of works, maybe I get acqui-hired by Google and then I make $500,000.
Yeah.
You know? And I only have to get to like, you know, next month to make that happen. I just got to convince some dope who's here right now.
I believe all the TV people believe it fully, and I get it. And I'm a big dumb ape. I see a giant screen, I'm like, yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, I
Boy.
want to see the TVs. Actually,
Oh, they're so
and I got mad because I think I was looking at the Verge's coverage or something, and there's a new TV technology that's better than OLED. I
Mini LED or micro LED.
I bought the best OLED. I bought the you know the one really good Sony one. I got the really good Sony. I'm like, I don't want a fucking better TV. This is as good as TVs need to be. It's 77 inches. It's true black. Stop.
Also,
I don't know.
just to be clear, you're fine. They haven't really made better than that. Like
I know it'll be in 10 years. I'm still just like, stop it.
I don't know if you're going to have kids, but I've heard a couple dad sentences, both in this TV discussion and earlier when you were like, now I saw a good product.
But I was able to buy this TV because I'm not as price sensitive as a real dad. Because I don't have the kids. That's why I got to get the good one.
And like as a child haver, that's the normal way to say it. Like big screen. Big screen's fine. As long as you got a big screen, that's the coolest thing to
screen,
giant screen to play Minecraft on. You're fucking set. Best father in the world.
2 so you can both play it. You know?
Or
one on
in separate rooms so you don't have to talk to
Right,
each other.
exactly. That's what they want.
One
That's
of my
what they
most
want.
cherished things is watching my son play Minecraft and him explaining shit to me and
but
me
we're
being
not,
like,
we're not talking about a normal thing. We're talking about what the consumer wants. What the consumer
to separate
wants.
themselves.
We're talking
from
about
it.
what that guy who did the tweet about how he gets boiling mad if he spends more than 10 minutes with
Wait,
his
what was
children.
this?
Did you see this? There was some dad was like, "Am I normal if I spend more than 10 minutes? Was it day with my
it's literally a
children?
day.
My blood boils. That's normal, right?" And everybody was like, "Hey, buddy, that's not totally normal, but like we totally get it. Being a dad is hard."
You're valid.
You know,
for that.
It is, but not like 10 minutes should not because you have a lot more of those in the day with the child than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like this guy doesn't have to, but
Well, it reminds me of when the COVID lockdown first happened, and all the parents I knew and the ones on the internet were suddenly like, someone needs to help me from being around my kids. And I'm
like lockdowns.
I thought you liked having the kids. Now you're mad that you got to be around the kids. Why do you have the kid if you don't want to be around him? And it also makes you realize that, like, oh yeah, the main purpose of school was not education; it was just childcare, so people could go to work.
Yes.
That's why they're complaining. They're like, I need to go to work. Well, you've just revealed a fucked up thing about school and parenting all at once.
I actually think that's the lens I'm going to go through everything tomorrow. I'm just going to look around the expo center being like, okay, what's the shit where it's just people like, I need to get away from my obligations. Like, I've made these fucking decisions throughout my life. I got a fucking fat-ass, unhealthy bitch of a cat. I got a fucking...
we were all waiting on what that last word was going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, we were on the edge of our seats. And there were some options. There were multiple options.
Didn't I? No, it's like, and it's just
cat. Okay, he's saying cat. Okay, great.
Also, wasn't referring to any of my perfect fucking angels, but it's like these people are just like, okay, I need to find out if my cat's healthy because I don't want to look at it or use it. Oh, can I keep my child in a separate room? Can I give it an action figure that will
Can I give it a robot and an action figure that will talk to each other and it?
And also, if you want any of these things, don't worry, they don't fucking work. They don't even do the thing that we're promising you. But it's funny just imagining this guy's walking around being like, please fucking get me away from all this. Please, is this robot going to be? Oh, the robot's going to fall over. Oh, it's fallen over. It's going to kick me in the nuts. Do you see that video? The guy just getting fucking hoofed in the nuts by a robot. That was great. If you've got a booth with a guy just being kicked in the balls, I don't care what you're selling me. Fucking Lockheed Martin.
I'll buy it.
Yeah, like
I mean, some of them made me kind of sad. Like there was one that was, I don't want to say the name of it because it did make me sad, but it was like a little toy, like a little Hello Kitty type toy. And it was, you could talk to it.
Was it the one that was like the future of Robot Friend?
Something like that. It was a fuzzy.
I think I know what
It
you're
was the
talking about.
fuzzy brown.
Little fuzzy
I know
brown thing.
exactly what you're talking about.
And
Yeah.
it was also like it'll watch everything that you do and remember it. And I was like, all right. And I walked up and I was like, all right, what was it doing? I was like, here it is. I was like, oh, can I talk to it? And she was like, no, the Wi-Fi is in here is bad, and it uses Chat GPT, so it can't connect to Chat GPT right now. And I'm like, this is just somebody put like a couple $100,000 of their own money into like a little doll that connects to the Chat GPT API and is here thinking that's anything. Like why would we want such a thing? Why would anybody here be excited by just a front end to Chat GPT, a product that already exists?
But that's the thing. I feel like as we wrap up the episode, it's a good way to put it. It's like there are two real cons with AI. There's the con of the consumer being told it will do this for you or that for you, it'll be a personal assistant. And then there's for companies where they're like, yeah, if we put Chat GPT in this, it'll be smart. No, motherfucker. It's not going to do that at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want to name a company, which is fine. But it's like, there are so many that were there last year as well. It's like, oh, it's an agent. It's like, it's just a fucking chatbot. And you've poorly trained it. And it's like going to tell you that Taiwan is part of China or like BDSM shit. Like, and it's just quite sad. It's like everyone is being conned by these companies, both the consumer and the companies themselves. I can't wait to catalog them. I'm looking forward to watching the sadness, but it is quite sad. I'm so glad I'm here all week. This is great. My Joker, like
it's a shrug. It's a shrug economy. Like everyone's just sort of hoping. Like I was talking to people about the Disney OpenAI deal because that's like a bunch of people in Hollywood are all like freaked out about it, especially writers who are worried about IP and stuff like that. But like my take on it, if you look at the deal, is nobody even knows why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Like OpenAI has the idea that like we need licensed characters for Sora, and Disney just doesn't want to be left out.
Yeah.
But like they appear to think maybe it's marketing for Disney Plus. OpenAI has some idea. Maybe people will want to create scenes of Deadpool hanging out with Elsa or whatever. How does that result in money? Question mark. Nobody knows. Yeah, it loses money. But like Disney is just like not getting left out of a thing that's maybe the future. OpenAI is making a deal that makes their business look better to whoever the fuck is going to give them money next. And they didn't even pay Disney for it. Like
they're doing a licensing deal where they pay Disney in OpenAI stock, which Disney already bought more of. And in fact, Disney has the option to buy more stock. It's just... you gotta wonder what happens when OpenAI collapses, because it's gonna fucking happen. And it's just like these companies will change to the Chinese models, I guess, or what remains of Anthro. It's just
everyone can use Quan.
Yeah, the K2. No, that's the coding model.
K2, DeepSeek. It'll be fun.
Well, all right. I'm going to wrap it there so I don't just launch into a rant about AI as per fucking usual. Thank you so much. We've got the Core 3 here. It's going to be joining us for the next day or two. It's going to be wonderful. Thank you so much for traveling in with us. We're going to end the episode as we have, dedicated to Sean Paul. He's a wonderful fella, came in 2020. Donate to the Pediatric Epilepsy Research Consortium. Link will be in there, dedicated to his son. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to Better Offline. The editor and composer of the Better Offline theme song is Matt Osowski. You can check out more of his music and audio projects at matosowski.com. MATTOSOWSKI.com. You can email me at easy@betteroffline.com or visit betteroffline.com to find more podcast links and, of course, my newsletter. I also really recommend you go to chat.where'syourEd.at to visit the Discord and go to r/betteroffline to check out our Reddit. Thank you so much for listening.
Better Offline is a production of Cool Zone Media. For more from Cool Zone Media, visit our website, coolzonemedia.com. Or check us out on the iHeart Radio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.